simple. Okay.
It's easy to smile with Cheesy 7. 7 amazing cheeses plus cream cheese. Your slice of simple, 50% off.
JBL presents the sounds of victory. JBL Quantum Gaming headsets, because every sound matters.
You got the best of me. You got the best of me.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Campus Legends 2020. My name is Najigirl, and I will be your host for today. Today, we'll be doing the group stages for Phase 2 for Mobile Legends, and the teams who will battle it out today will qualify for semifinals, which will be happening next week. For those of you who are tuning in for the first time, Campus Legends is an initiative by Skoga to empower, educate, and engage students through esports. It is open nationwide to all tertiary institutions, including ITE, polytechnics, and universities. Campus Legends 2020 consists of both Mobile Legends and League of Legends, hosted entirely online in support of hashtag PlayApartTogether and hashtag SGPlaysTogether. So before I move on, I'm going to give a quick shout out to our sponsors. We have our official audio sponsors, JBL, our official mobile sponsor, Samsung, and other supporting partners like Yahoo TV, OnePlay Sports, and many more. Without all the support of these partners and sponsors, Campus Legends 2020 will not be possible. So let's talk about the flow of today. We'll be doing the first games for Mobile Legends, and then moving on after the game segment of live stream matches on Twitch and Facebook. We will have an interview with some of the team leaders of the winning teams. The quiz, however, there's a slight change. This week the quiz will be moved forward to next week, and it will be a National Day team. So do stay tuned for that. So I think that's all from my end. I will pass it on to our casters for today, Abstract and Jays07. Take it away.
Alright, thank you very much, Najwa. My name is J07, and joining me here today, finally, this couch has felt a little bit empty for the past few months, casting for Mobile Legends, and today, finally, joining the man himself, Abstract today.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome in. I'm really glad and happy to be part of the Campus Legends 2020. I'll be here for today as well as next week's grand finals. We've come a long way.
Yeah, definitely.
And literally just went through every single week, and I really just admire every single one of these players, and you yourself included, as well as all the League of Legends counterparts, because we have been going on for like about a month now.
Yes.
And really, it takes everyone's time off the weekends when they're supposed to be, kind of chilling around, stay at home kind of thing. But yes, they're still staying at home because they're playing games and all. But I suppose that you would probably want to find some time to do something else. But hey, in the end, games still games. As long as you're having fun, that is pretty much the whole meaning of all these tournaments, right?
Yes, exactly. And other than, just us actually trying to give you good games, a good show, I guess another thing that I have to thank is you guys staying at home, following Campus Legends throughout the whole month, watching the games, not only just in Mobile Legends, in League of Legends as well. And finally, we've actually completed phase 1, where we actually resolve all the individual qualifiers from various polytechnics, various universities, various tertiary institutions, and finally we've entered phase 2, where representatives will be competing in group stages for today, and we'll be looking at the top 4 teams to be qualifying for phase 3 next week.
So because of all the fact that we have already narrowed down all the teams for
That's right.
on different institutions, we have one team that will be representing each specific institution. This means that predicting the winner for the Campus Legends 2020 is now over. But do note, for those people that has already participated in the Campus Predict the Champions, you guys have already qualified, and those people that have already qualified, and of course you have put down your winners, they can expect to win a Samsung Galaxy S10 Lite that is worth $848. So if you guys have already entered yourself in, then perfect. But provided that you guys manage to get the right champion.
That's right. Huge shout out and thank you very much to our official mobile partners. Once again, Samsung not only just providing for our prize pool and also for the tablets that we're using. In fact, this whole stream is shot using a Samsung Galaxy S20. If you can see that little mark at the bottom there, it just shows how incredible these mobile phones can give us, like, even a good show. Usually we're expecting, like, professional video camera, but hey, this phone that you were using right now
Gets
work done, and in fact, some of our winners will be able to walk away with this very own phone. Once again, just give a huge just to remind you guys, those who are competing for today, they are literally a step closer to the prize pool. Once again, I'm just gonna mention out from the 3rd place onwards. All right, in 3rd place, they'll be walking away with 5 Samsung Galaxy A51 and 5 JBL Quantum 600 headsets, and of course $600 in cash and scholarship. Following that up, in 2nd place, 5 Samsung Galaxy S10 Lite with 5 JBL Quantum 800 headsets and $800 in cash and scholarship. And for the grand prize, literally the Campus Legends, the champion, will be walking away with 5 Samsung Galaxy S20 Plus, 5 JBL Quantum 1 headset, and $1,100 worth in cash and scholarships. That's a lot of.
Yeah, that's a really big prize pool.
That's a big win, I'd say.
Yeah, Samsung Galaxy S20 Plus, JBL Quantum 1 headset, and $1,100 in cash. And not to forget the scholarship. My oh my, is that really a win? Now, before we even continue up with the games and all that whatnot, you guys would definitely want to know which institution is pitting against each other. And this is a time where we just show you guys the screens as to how the group stages, round robins, is going to be conducted. We have Group A as well as Group B. Group A with IT College West against with Ngee Poly and NTU, NUS, SUSS combined with SIM. So we've got 5 institutions within of Group A. As for Group B though, we have IT College East, IT College Central, Nanyang Poly, Republic Poly, Singapore Poly, as well as Temasek Poly. So a little bit of, we have one institution more than Group A, but it's not going to make a very big deal at all.
Difference.
Because, yeah, this is going to be round robins. We'll be viewing and watching 5 rounds in total for today. So we'll be watching Group A for for round number 1. Group B for round number 2, and vice versa again. Group A for 3, Group B for 4. But Group 5 though is where things start to get a little bit spicier, dicier, whereby we start to see which teams have shown themselves worthy, or rather they show that they have really strong gameplay. They
are the Campus Legends, literally.
Exactly. They have they have what it takes to be the Campus Legends, and we'll just be looking and sifting through and see, okay, this game is going to be very scary. This could very potentially be the kind of grand finals game that we may see. That's kind of thing. Or perhaps even they are trying to fight for the top 4, whereby 2 teams that have the chance to get in the top 4, we can watch that kind of game as well.
So we'll be bringing you literally, quote-unquote, from Abstracts, the spiciest and the diciest of all games. And other than that, I would like to remind all of our viewers as well, this is a best of 1. For Mobile Legends, best of 1, oof. All cards on deck. All hands on deck, man.
Yes. I mean, we all know how Mobile Legends is. You pretty much have to go all in, all out, whereby the game is so volatile, anything can
Volatile.
happen. Yeah, it is really just
Yeah,
volatile.
literally.
As long as you do something wrong in the early stages of the game, before the 3 minutes mark,
Oh my
and
goodness.
in 1 minute 30 seconds in, you may actually have one tower loss. That is going to be a very big difference in all kinds of gameplay. But with that said and done, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for the game real soon.
Yep, before that, let's roll the ads, and we'll catch you in game number 1.
Say cheese! Guys, keep it simple. Okay.
It's easy to smile with Cheesy 7. 7 amazing cheeses plus cream cheese. Your slice of simple, 50% off.
JBL presents the sounds of victory. JBL Quantum Gaming headsets, because every sound matters.
You got the best of me. You got the best of me. No matter cold war, no matter time, no matter.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, and we're entering game number 1 of NUS on the blue team with SIM on the red team. We're already halfway through the draft, looking at the bans. Any interesting pop-up? Okay, fine. Usually getting banned away by SIM? Pretty interesting. I don't know what to say. Look, Abstract is utterly speechless. Why would you ban away Ishinshin unless I would call it probably a respect ban?
I mean, even if it's a respect ban, there really isn't any reason for you to be banning out Yi Sun-shin. Nowadays, we'll be getting a lot more Assassin's ban going about, like Hellcat, Hayabusa kind of thing going about. But
Oh
hey,
my goodness.
this may be a little bit different, because let's just jump right in and take a look at the total picks. Coming in from the blue side, which is NUS, we do have Popolin Cooper, Valir, as well as Xborg. Nothing out of the ordinary right there. But for Team SIM side, we do have Esmeralda, great pick, Atlas, great pick, Hilda. Ugh.
Actually, to be honest with you, Abstract, I'm seeing a lot of popularity surge for Hilda. She's gonna be an extremely annoying person to lane against. She has the heal, she has regen, and it's just extremely broken. Especially if you build like the Blade of Despair on top of her. Her ultimate deals a truck ton of damage. So looking into that sort of play. However, let's look at the bans once again. We're looking at the Lancelot ban away, and Hayabusa, like what you said, banning away these mobile assassins is crucial in keeping your core alive. However, NUS already revealing their core in a sense, showing off their Popo and Cooper, unless they're using their Popo and Cooper as a support. Well, technically, but it's going to be very important for the next few picks for NUS. However, for SIM though, taking away the Selena is open for the taking. Therefore, you'll be expecting a lot of like those early plays, early game advantage, which is extremely crucial for best of 1.
Right, so at this moment of time, SIM, they have the support that's already been locked in. One fighter, one tank, as well as another fighter. So all they have to do right now is to pick out who is going to be their hyper carry. At this point of time, everyone knows that the hyper carry meta is pretty much the one that propels everyone, all the team forward. As for Team NUS side, they have the tank not
Oh,
ready
Bauman?
yet. The two fighters out there, we can pretty much say that Purple and Cooper would be the one that will be building towards a slightly tankier build. We do have the Valir playing as a support, and may I just state this out, the carry is played by Oh Dear Bambi. And for those people in the Singaporean scene, you can pretty much know who is Oh Dear Bambi, the well-famed and of course the famous Oh Dear Bambi that used to be on EVO's Esports Singapore, which unfortunately is not part of EVO's Esports anymore. But regardless of that, Oh Dear Bambi is by far one of the strongest players that I've seen, well, in my career in Mobile Legends. So, at least in Singapore, that is. So, I would be having a lot of expectations coming in from NUS. Let's hope to see how SIM is going to play this through with their Hilda, as well as Bruno, which is pretty much A-okay. But I'm still, still kind of on the fence regarding Hilda. Hilda, yes, you may say that, oh, you build up the Blade of Destruction, Blade of Despair is really good on Hilda.
Yep.
But if you think about it, if you make the if you put the Blade of Despair onto Cho, it's pretty scary as well. So any teams, any players, any fighters that builds up the right items, the itemizations is pretty much A-okay, then you will start to see them going all havoc. And at this point of time, the most of the meta picks would very likely be Jawhead, which we are not seeing now.
Yeah, so usually we'd be expecting something like a Jawhead, but instead they're gonna go ahead with the Hilda. And the weird part that kind of boggles my mind is that Team NUS actually went for a Bauman pick.
Bauman is starting to see more...
Starting to see a lot more
Yes.
popularity this time around. And I really like how the meta shift constantly. Every week when we come back on top of this couch, it's just like we're looking at different teams once again. So ladies and gentlemen, onto the battlefield of Mobile Legends we go, as NUS spawning at the bottom left in the blue and SIM spawning at the top right in the red.
And at this point of time, you can pretty much see the NUS, they have put in themselves to just congregate in the middle lane, while Hilda coming in from SIM side is pretty much proxying all the way in the top lane. Bauman doesn't seem to give much damn about the proxy going about, but here's something interesting, right? NUS, they're just going to be heading back towards their normal purple buff. They're not interested in any kinds of that offensive raiding action, and we have Fan Choi that knows that they're going back in their purple buff, and he really wants to steal that away. But unfortunately, there is two supports that will be in the way. Oh Dear Bambi managed to successfully get their own buff, and as for that fact, we do have Atlas trying to jump right onto Smiley Cat, but unfortunately it is all just but a poke onto the supports.
It's something like, hey, you're gonna walk into me, I'm just gonna annihilate you and just like try to walk away, technically. But here is the power of Hilda. Look at that. She's already full health again. She has the shield. As long as she enters the brush, she can take as much punishment as she wants, and Beef can't do anything against her. You see how aggressive Fan Choi is playing, literally scouting it out, giving information for the side of the red team in the side of SIM, and she's just going all ham, and she doesn't really care. She literally walks right into the to show that, hey, NUS is actually taking the blue buff. So this means that bottom lanes, the other lanes can play safely, all those kind of stuff. So that is, in my opinion, the power of Hilda. And people, I believe, that is why Hilda is starting to gain popularity. She can heal. She can dash out of problems anytime. If she gets caught, she can just like first skill out of her way, and then don't forget walking into the bush, getting shield, getting regen, and don't forget, if there's a team fight happening at the bottom lane where we watched just now where Hilda tries to go in for the blue, don't forget, her passive will activate, she heals out of control and walks out. So basically, Hilda, kind of like I would say a budget Uranus.
I would say it's kind of like kind of a scouter kind of fighter.
Yes.
So this fighter really isn't all the way
Fighter main right here.
all the way through, yes, to pretty much go and fight in the early stages of the game. But yes, you would want to fight in early stages of the game, whereby you'll be transporting yourself from top lane to middle lane to back to the top lane just to defend your turret.
That's right.
So a really mobile fighter is pretty much this. You defend your turret in the top lane or whichever lanes that
Wave
you are
clear.
at, and just ensure that you are able to assist whoever is in the middle lane, or they're trying to contest for the objectives such as the turtle, or perhaps even roam about in the opponent's jungle just so that you have the extra manpower and still have that mobility to run back into your lane to defend it and make sure that your turret doesn't go down.
Yes, and Hilda's that you brought up a very interesting point out there. Hilda's mobility ensures that not only she gets a wave clear, she has a lot of wave clear. Oh, by the way, during that pause time, we're seeing like one Beef went down at this early game, and like I said, this is best of one, guys. So this is going to be huge for SIM. SIM.
Yep, with Bauman down, they do have the control of the top lane. It doesn't seem like they are going to be pushing down to the top lane that much, or even trying to push Bauman away from his territory in the top lane. But for now, Hilda is just going to be sticking about in the top lane. And like I said, the mobility between top lane and
look
middle
at
lane, exactly what he's doing.
Sanic.
But here we have the thing that is about to happen real quick here. As I'm just going to be immediately jumping in, but unfortunately the Fatal Links is not going to be grasping every single one of the players from NUS. Fortunately, they did manage to get a kill onto Valir, further amplifying all the damage onto the Purple and Koopa, which is going to be the next person in line. Mungo, as well as Odium Bambi, still finds himself in a safe sanctuary inside of their turret's range. The rest of SIM members does not find themselves any more kills following after that.
Yep, so that point just now, you can see most of these spells are down. They have, they're on the side of US, they packed a lot of Purify just to counter that Atlas. And don't forget, there's a lot of lockdowns coming out from SIM. They've got the ultimate coming out from Esmeralda. They've got Fatal Links, of course, the legendary Fatal Links. They have the Waka Waka with the Absol Arrow, Fan Choi with the ultimate of Hilda as well, and then Bruno. That is a scary ton amount of lockdown coming out from SIM. However, for NUS though, what is the lockdown coming out? And speaking of which, KU. Ooh,
No
Last
problems.
Insanity. Alright, Last
No
Insanity
problems.
will be used to pop to get out of there. But look at that. We saw Hilda rushing from top all the way to mid. Then suddenly at the bottom lane team fight early on just now, we saw that Hilda just literally rush straight in. Hilda is just exerting dominance all over the map.
I would really like to see how this Hilda is going to play this out for the entirety of the game. But in the meantime, it does seem like SIM, they want to put a little bit more dominance towards the middle lane and the top lane, just so that they have the control over the 50 line, whereby there is a turtle. Because the turtle is going to be the next objective that they will be looking out for. Fan Choi, which is now under siege by a couple of NUS players, but it doesn't seem like he's going down anytime soon. With the small amount of shields that he has on his health points, as well as the fact that we do have a Fatal Links coming in from Atlas, immediately pulling in two members in and just getting the Valir kill almost instantaneously. But unfortunately, no double kills. But hey, they don't have to be too greedy about that. As long as they're able to bring one person down, it pretty much shows that they have the dominance over at the top lane, which will allow them to further up their lead in terms of goal advantage as well as EXP advantage once they pick up the turtle.
And look at that, Fan Choi just immediately proxying right there.
He doesn't care.
Yeah, he doesn't really care. What can Bauman do? Bauman, whenever you try to chip down Hilda, all Hilda has to do is just run away, get into bush, and heal up. Look at that, she's already back to full health. And whoops, with the ultimate, gonna be able to take down Smelly Cat in just one fell swoop with the help of a little bit of Waka Waka coming in with the Absol Arrow. Look at Beef, the counter coming out, but nothing's gonna be able to be done coming out from NUS. SIM walking around NUS team as Odium Bambi desperately tries to scavenge up as much gold as possible. I think all eyes have to be on top of Odium Bambi, because don't forget, SIM, they drafted for a lot more of tanky pick. They have the Esmeralda, who can be potentially tanky. They have the Atlas. They have the Hilda, who's also going to be building into quite some sort of health. But then again, NUS, there is no lockdown. Where is the lockdown? Yes, fine, over there can lock down, but it's just harder for NUS to lock anyone down.
And here we have the Last Insanity coming in from Mungo, not going to be blasting anyone into oblivion just yet. Waka Waka is going to be the first one going down from that initial team fight. Here comes Fan Choi coming in to back his teammates up with the Purple and Koopa coming in and going down almost immediately. Mungo as well as Beef, their HP is all the way down low, sliver of health, but they will be pretty much A-okay as SIM immediately backs themselves away just to make sure that they don't overestimate themselves, or rather they don't overexert themselves in any kinds of control over here. They're trying to get the purple buff as soon as possible. Odium Bambi is doing pretty much A-okay. Fan Choi really trying to get the steal away of the purple buff, but that is pretty much a big no. NUS versus SIM. If you think about it, SIM is doing really well in terms of their goal. Currently with 17.7 thousand, while NUS is looking at 15.4 thousand. But if you think about things, we do have Carry currently at 3.9 thousand gold, which honestly is not that bad after all. Hilda and Bruno though, That is where the main problem lies.
To be honest with you, Abshar, I don't think we should be looking at the gold lead. We should be looking at the map dominance. You can tell how SIM is dictating where they want to make the team fight happen, and that's where they make the team fight happen with the help of the Fatal Links, with the help of Absolute Arrow, and basically with Hilda, well, off-screen, picking up a mega kill. We'll be trading for her life for that kill as well, but that's a-okay because they are ahead in terms of the gold lead, they're ahead in terms of objectives, they have map dominance. Look at that. Mungo coming in with the last Insanity.
Too late.
Too late. But first item for Mungo is the Immortality. So really respecting the damage coming out from the side of SIM, but I really don't think NUS will be able to do anything as of now but to get Odia Bambi up farming and tip-top shape in terms of the gold. But with SIM constantly pressuring Odia Bambi, look at that right now, just
The Abyssal Arrow immediately lands on top of Valia. Valia is going down for the third time in a row. Doesn't seem like he's putting a lot of spells onto the enemies just about yet. He's pretty much been off position for quite a bit of time. He's been eating a little bit of the Abyssal Arrow here and there, and it doesn't seem like he's, well, putting up a lot of, you know, things for his team.
There's no-
unfortunately, not yet at least.
yeah, there's no lockdown coming out from NUS except for Valir. Valir needs that very one good stun down. Okay, luckily Odia Bambi will be able to get it out there alive, but the damage is done. Look at that. The top lane is already pushed up to their inner turret already. Bottom lane having a little bit of trouble. SIM is just going to focus their efforts on top of this objective. They cleared away the blue buff. Basically, SIM is saying like, your jungle is my jungle and my jungle is still my jungle, not giving NUS any way of getting back into this game. Like I said, this is the best of one. There is no room for error, and NUS, I would say, made quite a few errors already.
It does seem like they really want to get a piece out of the second tier turret in the middle lane. Bottom lane second tier turret is still looking a-okay, but the fact is that SIM has put themselves quite a lot of pressure with the Fatal Links immediately lapping in through on the sheer cool as well as Odia Bambi. He immediately goes down. Mungo, he still have the immortality, but all of them is just waiting for him on his dead body just to send him back to where he belongs. And with that all said and done, NUS, we're only left with the Popol and Cooper as well as that bomb. The two of them, there really is nothing else that they can do. This will allow SIM to regain the dominance that they had throughout the entirety of the map and relocate themselves back to the pits of the Lord. This will be able to ensure them with a bunch of mega creeps as well as a big beefy Lord marching all the way down from the top lane.
Yeah, so NUS took a very bad team fight at the bottom blue side because look, there's 4 members of SIM just ready to pounce. That flicker, Fatal Links was the playmaker. Shreds jumping it at the best timing and noticing that NUS people are out of position. Look at that. Even taking some punishment from Popo and Koopa. Fanchoy is healing up. Have you ever seen Fanchoy actually below 50% health?
Not that I remember. I mean, there's only once whereby he died.
When he got killed.
Yeah, I mean, that was kind of like a trade between Beef as well as Fan Choi. So, well, that I can't really talk about it too much. But in this meantime, it does, you know, we do have the Falling Salmon coming in from the Esmeralda, locking down on the Beef, but will get himself away. It doesn't want to play too complacently and lose his life over a meager kill. And now, the last Insanity coming in from Mungo is just going to put himself in a really bad position while the Lord is just going to be hammering down in the top lane. The rest of SIM members just going to take this opportunity to bring down the tower in the bottom lane. The second tier tower is pretty much the thing that they will be looking out for. The defense coming in from NUS is working pretty well for now.
Yeah, just literally turtling up in their own base. They basically also took down Esmeralda, who overextended a little bit. It feels like the patience of SIM is just running thin, allowing NUS to pick up those little pickups. Those little pickups might be what NUS required to bounce back into the game. However, map dominance is still in the hands of SIM. NUS is basically scrounging up as much gold as possible, and the side of SIM, it's right now they're just buying time. They need to wait for the next Lord to come up so that they can, be able to push in terms of the turrets. But like I said, even if they get that Lord just now, the damage is not done. NUS is still holding strong. Look at that. NUS is slowly pushing into the map of SIM as they slowly but surely regaining this fight. Like, it feels like a World War I trench warfare, and they're just standing at no man's land.
Here's something interesting, which I did not realize, is that NUS actually has gotten themselves with 2 turret kills in the bottom lane. So that is something good. Middle lane, the first tier turret is still up there. And the top lane's first tier turret is still up there. So I can pretty much say that Hilda doing a pretty good job in defending her own turret, not allowing the opponent to bring down that turret as much as they want to. And the Bowman, well, he got to flee from his lane just so that he will be able to exert a little bit more dominance in other team fights, which is the thing that they really want. NUS may want to put a little bit more focus into team fights where they will be able to pick one person off, and that may be the best thing that they could ever do, just so that they can, you know, slowly gain back the dominance, slowly get kills here and there, and just try not to go into an all-out war against them.
Yeah, and it really, like I said, Shred, going in with the Fatal Links once again, and literally, where is NUS? Deleted of the map, 2 members down, as SIM will be able to clear up the remaining surviving members of NUS. Now, Smelly Cat and Mungo forced to run full retreat as SIM slowly regaining that map dominance that once had that early on just now, where NUS will be able to walk up for the first time out of their own base, but now SIM is slowly picking up.
It doesn't seem like NUS is able to do anything at this point of time. Mungo is trying to drag time as much as possible. Beef will be coming up in 5 seconds. Shirkle coming up in 4 seconds. But the question is, will that be enough time for them to even defend? Fanchoi is just waiting in front of the fountain. There is absolutely no way that they can defend the core. And ladies and gentlemen, there we have the best of one of this group stages in Group Stage A.
Well, I would say NUS, they fought valiantly. They have a draft which has a lot of wave clear. They have the X-Borg, they have the Valer, they have the Bauman as well. These heroes are very good in clearing your wave because they do a lot of AoE damage. But then again, SIM, that early game dominance for the side of Hilda, just showing up whenever it's required, going up from the top lane, rushing down to the bottom lane to a four-man gang against Odia Bambi. That kind of sealed the deal for SIM. NUS. NUS is unable to match that sort of rotation, that aggressive rotation coming out from SIM, therefore just went down. Carry almost brought the game back because, you know, with the Tank Buster and SIM building a lot more tanky, but there wasn't enough time for NUS to actually build that up.
Unfortunately, because NUS didn't really quite have a good early start. I gotta say, Hilda definitely put quite a dominance in the early stages of the game. Really just rotating from the top lane to the middle lane as much as possible. They managed to get the first kill onto Bauman at the top lane, and that pretty much secured the lane and allowed Hilda to be hyper-aggressive in both lanes. Really dominant. And that is pretty much what propelled him forward. And as for Bruno, well, he is the hyper carry after all, so he needs to have that farm, and understandably he will have that farm. Hilda is the one that kind of caught me completely off guard. No one is funneling kills for him, no one is funneling XP or even gold, and yet he is on par with Bruno.
Yeah, it's just a very tough fight coming up from NUS right here, as SIM will be picking up the first victory of the day as we watch. And to be honest with you, Abstract, SIM, they look very fierce. The aggressive early game. I feel like later on, when we watch other games, we need to look for those games where we're going to focus on the early game. There's no room for error in terms of bringing it to the late game. So therefore, you know, we have other teams in this in Group A and Group B. I believe you recognize Masarab as well. They are known to pull the game like 30 minutes long and try to hopefully make sure that the enemy team make a careless mistake, and they know how to pounce on that careless mistake. They will turtle up as much as possible. But with that said, NUS tried to turtle up, but SIM cracked it like a coconut.
Exactly. The power of Atlas, the amount of initiating factors coming in from Atlas, and not to forget, they have Abyssal Arrow as well. So they have a lot of things to look out for. They have to make sure that Atlas don't go in for the Fatal Links, because once the Fatal Links comes in, man, that is pretty much the end, because they will just go through the glass door pretty easily. Yeah,
Purify. Don't forget, Purify, the cooldown is actually increased, and the amount of the cooldown of Atlas Fatal Links is so short, it kind of beats the Purify already. So if Fatal Links, he can just spam Fatal Links just to bait out that Purify. Once he baited out that Purify, that's it, he can just retreat. And he knows for like a minute or so they don't have Purify. They cannot avoid that Fatal Links, and therefore I believe in the subsequent matches, Atlas will be very crucial for our next few games.
Exactly. With that 1 minute in, well, a lot of things can change within the 1 minute. They may get one kill, or maybe they will get killed themselves. Well, these kind of things are the difficult things to say, and it's really tough to understand how the game is going to turn into favor of any teams. But still, with that all said and done, game number one, or rather round one of bracket A of the group stages A is now done. We'll be looking at the second game real soon, and that is going to be the group stages B.
Yeah, that's right. RP versus TP. You're from RP yourself, right?
I'm TP.
Oh, okay. Sorry, but with that said, RP Masara will be will be showing up later. Literally, speak of the devil himself. Remember, I pulled out Masara up just now. RP will be represented by Masara. But you know what, ladies and gentlemen, do not go away because after the break, we'll be watching our next match.
We'll see you.
Say cheese. Guys, keep it simple. Okay.
It's easy to smile with Cheesy 7. 7 amazing cheeses plus cream cheese. Your slice of simple, 50% off.
JBL presents the sounds of victory. JBL Quantum Gaming headsets, because every sound matters.
You got the best of me. You got the best of me. 너의 구원, 너의 참, 난 너만.
Guys, keep it simple.
Okay.
It's easy to smile with Cheesy 7. 7 amazing cheeses plus cream cheese. Your slice of simple, 50% off.
JBL presents the sounds of victory. JBL Quantum Gaming headsets, because every sound matters.
You got the best of me. You got the best of me. 눈을 굴고 눈을 짠.
And ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Campus Legends 2020, brought to you by Skoga. This has been J07 and Abstract along by my side. Just now we saw Group A, where we saw NUS going up against SIM. SIM took that game textbook, clean and nice with the early game dominance. And in fact, I believe throughout the day, we'll be watching a lot of early game dominance. And in fact, we're going into Group B right now, where we're looking at RP and versus TP, whereas TP alma mater right here. SP kind of lost in terms of the group stages, but you know what? Let's hop into the brackets a little bit so that you guys get a clear idea on how the story has been unfolding. So hopping into Group A, we're looking at NTU and SIM. Of course, they played one game, won already one game, so they're in the lead already. Whereas on Group B side, we're seeing INTE, College Central, team, which is I believe Team Gaius, and Fried Pigeon is in there as well. Temasek Poly and Republic Poly, which basically we'll be watching later on. They've already won one game as of now.
And of course, with that all said and done, we are going to be looking into the game, into the draft right about now between these two teams. So let us just take a look at what has been going on now with Loi, Popol and Koopa, as well as a Ling ban. Waiting for the last ban to go under the way for Temasek Poly's side, and that is absolutely going to be Uranus. And of course, with that all said and done, we still have a lot of heroes that's available for the picking, such as we have Esmeralda, we have Atlas, yes, we have, okay, Ling is out already, and there's so many things also, Hellcat, Hayabusa, Valere. There's just so many, too many things.
To be honest with you guys, after watching a lot of matches being played by our professional players, literally right here, they play better than me, of course. But we always notice that how apparently Atlas is basically the playmaker. Those team who pick the first pick or basically take away Atlas, I would say they have a better chance in winning, and I believe Republic Polytechnic or Team Asara actually identify that, literally locking in that Atlas, whereas on the side of Temasek Poly, go for the Kufra instead, well, second tier in my tank list, and of course with the Esmeralda coming in. And literally, I would say that the respect ban of Temasek Poly banning away Olaf's Uranus, because we've seen in other tournaments, Olaf being able to use Uranus at it's like what 40% damage all across the board, legit.
Okay, so right now we do have the Selena as well as a Lunot's pick. Now this is something interesting, right? So we are looking at either one of these players going down to the bottom lane to solo farm, kind of like in the role of a fighter, or maybe they're not even gonna go for the 1-3-1 meta. They're going for the 1-2-2 meta. whereby we'll have Selena as a support, and we'll have perhaps Lunox in the middle lane getting all the farm, those kind of stuff. But it's kind of hard to say, so we'll see how that's going to work out for now.
Well, to be honest, Abstract, right? I'm not surprised if I see Republic Polytechnic going for the Selena, the Lunox, and the Atlas in the middle lane, because Lunox actually does a lot of damage to the health. Selena going with you want to abuse the fact that Selena can stun literally someone like miles away. So you want to be able to play around with that. So Republic Polytechnic, Lunox. Oh, don't forget, Lunox is also quite mobile as well. And in case if anything happened, she can basically pop her ultimate and go super safe. So
That's
I'm not surprised if we see Republic Polytechnic going for those 3 in the mid lane. However, Temasek Poly side to pick though, they kind of tease out the Farsa. I would say if they tease out that, if they actually went for that Farsa, it would make the game very, very interesting. However, it also opened up for Atlas being going into with the Fatal Links. But let's check back the ban as well. Banning away the Jawhead, banning away the Kimi. So limiting Temasek Poly sides in terms of the damage, but then they're going to settle for a Kagura and an Alice, going a lot more tankier build in my opinion.
We do have the Jawhead as well as Kimi being banned out respectively from Temasek Poly and Republic Poly. Bauman as well as a carry pick. So the hyper carry is in here, right? So we've got a hyper carry.
Alright, I take whatever I said back.
Hyper carry, right, in the middle lane, together with a Selena as well as a Uranus. As for the top lane, understandably, is gonna be a Bauman, and the bottom lane solo is going to be a Lunox. Something that I've seen before back then, like a really long time ago, whereby Lunox goes to the bottom lane as well as Harif being in the middle lane, and both of them just kind of wreaks havoc together.
Yes,
just kind of how the meta slowly evolves into this current state. As for now, Temasek Poly, we do have the Esmeralda, Kufra, Kagura, Freya, as well as Roger. So Roger in the middle lane together with Kufra as well as the...
I thought it was an Alice.
Atlas? Wait.
I thought it was an Alice. The skin.
Oh, no,
the skin.
No.
I don't know. I can't remember. But the point is, I think the main point is I'm looking at the Roger pick. It's a little bit very all-in. Roger, it feels like a gamble. There's no such thing as a passable Roger. It's either you go in, be the werewolf, be a monster, shredding people's throats in the air, and you just walk over the team, or you be that pathetic pup at the backside, waiting for your team to peel and not be able to do anything. So that Roger is a little bit unsafe pick in my opinion. I'm never a big fan of Roger picks, but you know what?
Yep.
They had the better idea.
Me neither. I don't really like Roger myself, but ever since the rise of hyper carry meta going about, they have allowed and given Roger a lot of space to start to go online quicker. And so the Wolf Pounce is pretty much, the Lycan Pounce is pretty much something that really makes or breaks the game. And so if Roger finds the right time, he has the farm as well. They're pretty much just gonna put him in a perfect positioning. Although he's going to be right smack in the center of the team fight, he would have to wait for his fellow teammates to initiate first and then go in at the perfect timing, perfect moment, just so that he can, well, dish out all the devastating damage.
Ooh, TP is just gonna get that early invade, picking up that red buff, which is gonna be extremely crucial for RP. But you know what, RP is gonna do the same. That information given away by Atlas means that RP is just gonna take that trade for a red buff invade. Esmeralda can't match. So, but eyes on the bottom lane, Lunox is going up against an Alice. Potentially, an Alice will be able to, in my opinion, be a lot more beefier and tankier that the Lunox can't melt down. But Lunox does have the heal as well, the sustain to remain in lane. So does Alice. So that bottom lane will be very crucial. It really relies on who's going to rotate up to the mid lane and secure a lead for RP. Or, ooh, very nice stun coming out from Lynx.
But it does seem like with the help of Kufra, he is standing right in front of the Atlas. The bouncing ball will help to ensure that the Selena don't just jump right in, because with the bouncing ball intact, there's no way they can jump in. In the meantime, it does seem like Alice as well as Kagura are just going to proceed their way down to the bottom lane, but under the threat of the opponent's turret, they have to fall back now. We do have the Lunox that is pretty much A-okay, just hiding inside of this turret, doesn't have the ultimate just about yet, but once he gets the ultimate, once he's level 4, he has Brilliance, he wouldn't find so much issues dealing with soloing.
It's really hard to gang a Lunox, even in the early game in my opinion, because you have to heal, you have to sustain. If they want to come in, perfect, because Lunox actually gains more defensive stats when she lands that light form Q, the first skill that is, and then that is actually good for Lunox. So she wants to be able to fight with a lot more like things to hit so that she can heal off of it. So even though we're slowly, steadily creeping into like almost like an early mid game right now, we're not seeing any fights until right now.
Banana Farts is going to be the first one going down to the hands of Roger. And it does seem like TP, they are working that out pretty well to ensure that Roger is getting them kills. In fact, that is going to be the first kill, and Roger went in at the last minute just to ensure that. So good work coming in from TP. And at this point of time, with the first kill, it would pretty much set the tone to ensure, to pretty much show that they have the dominance in the top lane to get the turtle.
Yeah, so right now, as we're seeing a little bit of a scuffle happening at the turtle pit right here, it's like what I said, Roger requires a lot of peel. And look at the composition coming out from TP. They have the Kagura who can peel, you have an Esmeralda who can go in as well, and don't forget the Dawn with the Kufra, with the bouncing ball, there's a lot of peel coming out. So it feels like this whole composition that TP picked is just to assist Donberry with the Roger. However though, mind you, there is not a lot of Purifier coming out from TP instead. So I believe they don't really respect the power of Atlas, and it may be their downfall. It's really hard to tell.
Or maybe they know how to counter against this Atlas. Maybe. We'll see how that's gonna go. But as long as they huddle up together, congregate together a little bit too much.
I think they shouldn't be congregating up and huddled together, because that would be a nice Fatal Links. And speaking of Fatal Links, WX looking for some Fatal Links to go in, but will be melted down.
Yep, as I said, it doesn't seem like they care so much about the Fatal Links because they want to find a way to ensure that the Atlas will definitely go down. Turtle being slain by the Roger is going to be the next best thing going on about right now. We do have Darkening activated coming in from Talk Less Do More, but unfortunately the Chaos Assault did not land on anyone important, and in fact he only landed the Cosmic Assault once. So throughout all of that ordeal, even though Kagura went down, it does seem like TP still have gotten themselves in a better lead from all of that because they got the turtle.
They got one kill, they got the turtle, they basically also get the XP, but do mind that the goal lead is not that far apart. Even though TP, on the side of the red team or TP, they have the turtle. RP is still, well, even as I'm talking about it, the gold equalizes almost immediately. So respectfully, it's a lot of respect for me coming out from Team RP right here.
So it's really tough for us to even say who's got the upper hand at this point of time. We do have the Atlas jumping right on top of Dawn, but hey, Dawn, the Kufra, is going to be a little bit tankier than Atlas would believe. We do have the rest of Team RP that is just going to be congregating in the middle lane, waiting for the perfect time. The Fatal Link absolutely whiffs and just whiffed throughout the entire team. Dawn Buri picks up the kill round to Atlas post of that failure, and now is going to put RP in a really, really bad spot. But hey, the good thing is that the Lunox did manage to get a kill right on top of Raiko. Dawn goes down as well, so we are not going to completely disregard RP's, well, their power in this game. We're not going to look through that for now. But one thing I would like to focus on is that Don Beauty has gotten himself 2 kills for now. I believe that he should have a decent amount of net worth, 4.2k. The opponent, they don't have anyone that could match up to the Roger just yet.
Yeah, so you can see that Lunox actually going for the Wheel of Time, gonna look a little bit more tankier, in fact going into a concentrated energy at the same time. So these are tanky in order to survive the onslaught coming out from TP, as TP will be taking that mid lane turret down. That Fatal Link miss is just painful to watch, and yes, they're gonna trade away the tanks, but that pick off from Raiko just is there. Is something like a damage control, but at the same time, off screen, right, Talk Less Dubo actually pick up another kill on the other side, and it feels like Banana Fires will be picking up that Kufra at the same time. Donbury looking very low. The Lycan Pulse jumps right in. Olaf is kiting, and Olaf kites the Lycan down as RP looking stronger this time around. They're taking better trades. Yes, in that early game just now, TP looked to be a little more ahead, but RP finally got control of the game.
Now that is pretty much where Don Bury, or rather, the power of Roger just kind of disappears. I mean, to be fair, he was going against with an entire kampong, all alone, so I wouldn't disregard that just yet.
I would say it's a whole HDB block.
Yeah, I would suppose that for now. In the meantime, we do have Brilliance being popped up by Lunox. He'll be pretty much safe and A-okay. Don was channeling the Tyrant's Revenge, but did not take the opportunity to initiate onto RP just about yet. TP is playing it safe because they know that they have a slight advantage in terms of, you know, gold because of Roger. Roger's doing pretty much A-okay, right? But the rest of RP, they are very consistent. They ensure that Olaf is safe. He have not died just yet, but he only have 1 kill and 3 assists.
Yeah, if you look at the score on the side of RP, their core, look at Olaf, you look at Talk Less Do More, you look at even Lynx himself, they did not go down. So in terms of the goal, they are still ahead. And it's just, in the early game, we saw how TP literally will be able to walk over with Donbury, but hey, speaking of which, a little bit of siege coming out from the side of RP. Olaf will be able to melt down Don, the tank buster himself. Kufra went down for no reason. Donbury get caught up finally by a Fatal Lynx. Oh no.
My. Now that was a good play coming from RP. Though, yes, they used the Fatal Links only on one person, but they knew who is the one that they need to prioritize. Although they didn't quite get a kill on the Esmeralda, but they did manage to get a kill on both Don as well as Don Buddy, pretty much the most important players in this team in TP. So now, what can I say? Don Bury, he had a good early game, but now RP, they knew who to aim on. Don Bury's positioning is not that good because once you're in Lycan form, you are melee and you are going to be very, very vulnerable.
So, playmaker of this game, on the side of RP, WX need to land that finally showing us how to play Olaf, showing us how to play the Atlas properly at this time round. That's very crucial in order to catch out Don. Look at him doing it again, pulling the 2 members of TP down as Donbury is at work trying to peel, but Carry is in the mix as well. We'll be able to kite out a team of TP, picking up a triple kill, and Maniac going into Carry as well, and literally wiping out TP's team composition. And we'll be proceeding to wiping out this this top lane turret at the same time.
That's game. That's pretty much game if they want to go for this. In the meantime, it does seem like Esmeralda really wants to get a piece out of the players from RP. We have the Chaos. We have the Darkening. He did not quite get a kill onto Esmeralda, unfortunately, because he was standing within of the fountain. And this is pretty much the time where things are starting to get spicy and just the whole of RP. They really want to get and destroy this turret in the middle lane, but it doesn't seem like they will be able to get that. We do have a falling Star Moon, trying to get a kill on Olaf, but Olaf didn't manage to get himself away. The Sun trying to go for the Star Moon dance and he wasn't able to catch up to him just about yet. Olaf gets away, or maybe not. With the 40 seconds respawn timer on his head, the rest of RP, they would have to tuck tails and run away from TP, because the rest of TP, they are literally just running them over like a truck they are. Suns go straight in for the falling Star Moon, but unfortunately did not quite catch that Selena. And now, despite the fact that they managed to bring down the top lane turret, they almost brought down the middle lane inhibitor turret. But they lost too many men, whereby TP is allowed to bring the Lord down now.
That Lord is exactly what TP needs in order to get back in the game. They have a very good early game, a disastrous mid game, and finally, maybe this late game is looking in the favor of TP. With 3 or 4 men down from RP's side, TP will be able to secure that Lord, giving him more pushing power. It's probably, in my opinion, it's a defensive Lord coming out from TP, basically denying RP from that Lord. They would not be able to push in quickly. However, though, it's really up to... it feels like RP will be able to melt down the Lord very quickly with the help of Carry, with the help of the Lunox Dark Ultimate side, and with Lynx and WX providing that support, providing that vision, maybe this Lord would not be able to crash onto RP. So it's really up to this play. As you can see, the Lord is marching down in the mid lane. When the Lord finally reaches the mid lane turret, what is RP and TP's play?
RP definitely wants to bring down the Lord as fast as possible, but TP, they're not
Oh.
looking into bringing the Lord into the middle lane's inhibitor turret. All they care about is trying to bring down the players in the bottom lane. It does seem like they are not getting that down. Don, as well as Don Booty, finds himself in a really bad spot. Don is just going to be revitalized coming in from the immortality. He's going to go straight down with the two other members in his lineup. We're now left with Esmeralda as well as Alice to take over the rest of this part in Team TP.
It feels like RP dominated TP in terms of the damage department. Look at all up 914 with the help of Purify. Don't forget, Talk Let's Do More with the Lunox can melt squishies like butter in the hot sun with a hot knife at the same time. Look at the gold lead. Finally, well, our TP tries to get some, like, you know, revenge in a sense. It was even, and we thought that TP might be able to get this game, but RP, their macro is textbook. Look at that. In terms of the gold lead and XP lead, they are in the lead, even though they took a very disastrous early game. This is RP. This is Musarab, a signature. If you bring them to the late game, this is what you're gonna get.
This, boy oh boy. I have no idea how TP is going to get back into this game. Okay, so let's just recap, right?
I think they can.
They can, but it's gonna be very tough because we're looking at 3,000 gold lead that RP has, right? About, in fact, not even 3,000, about 4,000 lead in terms of net worth. They need to catch up with a great amount. They have top lane completely taken away, completely barren. Middle lane's turret is now at a sliver of health, and bottom lane turret is at half HP. They need to bring down a lot of turrets in the entire board in order to catch up in a little bit more of gold. So the net worth probably will go up by about 2,000 if they maybe even 1,000 if they manage to bring down the exterior towers.
But in terms of the map dominance, it's still in the hands of RP. Look at that. Most teams are at the top side. Fatal Links!
With that Fatal Links immediately just going to be linking down on 3%, followed by the stun onto the rest of TP. The whole of RP just going to be swooshing down, swatting them like little ants, and making sure that they do not even get away from all of that. Take a look at the bottom side of the map. It does seem like Sans did manage to get a kill onto Talk Let's Do More, but Olaf took the entirety of the part to bring him down, bits and pieces down. Raiko, the last man remaining, he is going to be the Kagura. He really wants to defend his core, but with one person left and his umbrella, what is he supposed to do? Block out range? No, you need to block out the rest of the ballistas as well as those arrows, which is not something that your umbrella is capable of.
You know, I am looking forward to a patch where Kagura's umbrella will be able to block away minion attacks. That would be hilarious. Like, you know, at least use that umbrella to good use, right? You know, your core is literally getting rained by the arrows and the cannon shot of the minions. And I don't know, I'm just picturing Kagura standing in front of the team, just opening up the umbrella, but everything just falls through.
And we will have Kagura's tag as mage/tank. I was like that.
Yeah, so I think the problem about this whole composition, early game, you can see Donburi will be able to do something, but then again, as the late game goes, don't forget, RP, this is Team Asura. They are the kings of late game, and they showed it very well right here. Even though they took very disastrous trade, the gold lead is still equal. Even though you give Win the kills, give the turtle over, they are still equal. And finally, at that very end, last team fight, that Fatal Links was that seals the deal. Aiming on top of Donburi, don't forget, that Roger did not pack a Purify. I think that's kind
of the main problem.
I think that's a sin. It feels like a sin. You pack Purify if you see an Atlas on the enemy team, or at least you pack a Diggy along. But because of the Roger, who is the main damage dealer of the team, the main core, the main carry of the team, you did not pack a Purify.
He got Retribution, right?
Retribution. He picked up a Retribution instead. So that kind of boggles the mind a little bit, and I would say a misplay coming out from basically when you pick up that Roger, especially with a team composition of RP. They have the Atlas. He basically welcomes you to come up to him, and he doesn't need to do the job of going into ejected mode and just fatal links your face. But
Not to
then
forget, he doesn't have any escape mechanisms.
no escape mechanism. That Roger is an all-in marksman, and don't forget, I would say that if TP were to actually have a chance, it relies on that Kagura umbrella, because that Kagura umbrella kind of works like a Atlas.
Purify kind
Ye-
of thing. You
yeah.
can get away from fatal links, if I am not wrong, with semi umbrella escape. Is it really
Yeah, I
something
can't.
along the
It's just a lot of open umbrella,
or
closed umbrella.
Rashu umbrella escape. Something along those lines, but basically he will be able to get away from most kind of crowd controls. But that pretty much means that they have to rely a lot of damage on top of Kagura, which should not be the case.
That's right. So it's a little bit off iffy, but don't forget, talk less, do more. The Lunok's job is to dive right in and pin Roger down. WX with the Atlas, same job as well. So once you remove Donbury out of the team fight, that's it. That's it for TP.
Yeah,
So
to the point that
RP
he even had a single man fatal links just to bring him down.
Yes.
Which is respectable.
Yes.
It's absolutely respectable, and I would understand why would he do that.
yeah, removing that person away from team secures. Even though, yeah, you want to hit as many people with your fatal links, but hey,
More value, but what's more value is killing the Roger.
Yes, that's right. But speaking of which, that is I would say it's a little bit clenching. It was a little bit tight. But then after that, Masarap rather Team RP basically will be able to take this game. But as well, pizzas.
So, ladies and gentlemen,
Oh,
with the conclusion of round number 2 in Group B of this group stage, we have come into the conclusion to that one, and so is in the rest of Group A and Group B. We'll be looking at Group
later.
A again for game number 3 real soon. Best of 1 again, right after this short break as we enjoy our pizza
Yes.
from Pizza Hut.
courtesy. And if you guys also want to get your own pizza as well, you know, this is the high time for you. While we're also going to short break, order your own as well, as we'll be tucking into this very cheesy and cheesy pizza with a cheddar mozzarella cheese, and it's extremely cheesy. So if you're a huge cheese fan, this is the pizza that you want to get. And of course, we'll catch you at the break. The pizza is really good.
Let's go.
Say cheese. Guys, keep it simple.
Okay.
It's easy to smile with Cheesy 7. 7 amazing cheeses plus cream cheese. Your slice of simple, 50% off.
JBL presents the sounds of victory. JBL Quantum Gaming headsets, because every sound matters.
You got the best of me. You got the best of me. 너의 구원, 너의 참, 너만
Keep it simple.
Okay.
It's easy to smile with Cheesy 7. 7 amazing cheeses plus cream cheese. Your slice of simple, 50% off.
JBL presents the sounds of victory. JBL Quantum Gaming headsets, because every sound matters.
You got the best of me. You got the best of me. 너의 구원, 너의 참, 난 너만.
You should take it. Take it.
What? But we're online. We're live. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Jinx.
You owe me a.
I don't know, man. This pizza is looking really.
You owe me a Red Bull now.
It's fine. There's a lot of Red Bull behind you, but hey, this pizza is really good right here,
Yeah.
right?
So you want to take it?
You know, maybe
Take it.
I want to, but you know, it's a paisa, and you are the. You
no,
need more
you take
energy,
it.
right?
No, you take it. I need. If I need energy, I have this.
Okay, fine. All right, so you'll be taking over the cast while I munch down this cheesy 7 Hawaiian chicken pizza thing. Incredible.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back in for the third part of today's group stages. We have looked into group stages in A as well as B, respectively, for Game 1 and Game 2. We'll be back and looking at Game number 3 from Group A, and the ones that we will be watching for now is, I actually have no idea who will be watching.
We're watching
Who will we be watching today? Okay, for Game number 3, but in...
IT College West versus.
IT College West versus
NUS.
NUS. Okay, so that's going to be the interesting one, right? Because, I mean, in
me
fact, everything is interesting.
You make me eat. You make me speak while I'm eating.
Yeah.
That's rude.
No, that's kind of the whole point.
No, that's not the point. Mommy says cannot.
But you are speaking now.
Okay, never mind. But anyways, I believe group brackets are already up and the draft is already started. But before we actually head into the group brackets, you know what? I feel like everyone wants to watch this stream with Pizza Hut, of course. Well, you guys should imitate me. But the draft has already started. Let's head into the draft right now.
Okay, continue munching it on. I'll take it from here, buddy. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let us take a look at the bans for now. We have Popolin Cooper as well as Ling that's being banned out and thrown into the pool, rightfully where they belong. Luo Yi is not yet banned yet, but Uranus has found himself in the tight spot, or rather that cozy spot up there in the ban list. Luo Yi is still not seen in the bans just yet. We're looking at Team IT College West to slowly pick out their teams, or rather pick up the hero that they want to ban the most. And I would suppose that Esmeralda may be the ban, or maybe even Atlas could be the ban that they will be looking for. And here we have Esmeralda, as expected.
He's picking.
Atlas then?
Pizza. This opens up to a lot, you know. NUS can go in with the first pick Atlas, or maybe first pick Akaja. Well, Akaja, yeah, technically getting nerfed with the range. Or, well, they're going to secure that Luo Yi. To be honest with you, Abstract, that Atlas and Luo Yi wombo combo is absolutely ridiculous. But instead, IT College West is going to be picking up that Hayabusa, so I'm not sure what's
Atlas.
going up.
Okay,
fine.
sounds about right. Something that I would expect to see coming in from them. I suppose that the rest of the Team NUS side, they have to take a look at the tanks, which is going to be Kufra or even a Hylos. But it does seem like the players here does seem to like Kufra a little bit more than Hylos, which kind of surprises me a little bit. And the fact that they focus down on picking up the X-Borg as well, which kind of baffles me to a certain extent as well. Most people will want to pick up a little bit more on their other fighters, such as maybe Jawhead. Jawhead has been increasingly popular these days, and not to forget, also we've got Bauman. But we definitely do not want to neglect the fact that there is still Xborg, Cho, Thamus, as well as Leomod that stands to be in the viable part of the fighter's role. Don't worry. And we also have Valir that's currently being picked up from ITH College West, coming in for that one. So I suppose that we've got the support, the tank, and the hyper carry that's being picked out already. As for Team NUS, we've got the support, fighter, as well as the tank being picked up already. Yeah, I'm doing it on purpose. Every time you take a bite, I'll stop talking. Alright, so the next one coming into the list, we do have Jawhead as well as Bauman being banned out, exactly what I talked about. So I believe that we will start to see a little bit more of a difference in terms of the fighters. Hilda is starting to be seen in NUS side. IT College West, they can look at a final fighter, which would be
Ruby.
Wow, not something I was expecting.
Finally, I can talk abstract. Like literally the whole job, you're taking it away. All right, time for my turn to add on to the analysis. To be frank, NUS, they have a lot of wave clear. Yishin can wave clear. The Xbox can wave clear. Don't forget, Loyi can wave clear as well. And the Hilda who can be used at great success in the early game. And that's something that we should be looking out for. Whereas on IT College West side, going for that higher booster, fine. Atlas, okay, that's good. They're going for the Valer, where technically that can be used in the wave clear. That Ruby is a little bit odd, so... But then they have a lockdown on their side, so expecting a lot of, team plays coming out from IT College West. But coming from... I burped. NUS as well. The pizza is really good. I'm still digesting that. I actually had literally, guys, during the break time, we actually finished the pizzas right here. And it's just, oh god, already. And help courtesy of me, and I helped most of it.
I think most of them disappeared because of Spoods and Escape Artists anyway, so...
Escape Artists, literally escaping it away with all our
in case
pizzas.
you guys are watching, then I blame you guys.
Finally, I've got someone here to help me out. But ignore everything that we said as we're hopping into this match between NUS spawning on the bottom left side in the blue and ITE College West in the top right in the red. And we're already seeing, look at that, NUS wave clearing almost immediately. ITE College West, they can't really match up with that sort of, yes, I'm burped a little bit. Oh my god, here we go again. But then again, wave clear is very important for NUS. Once you have that wave clear in the early, in the mid lane, you can clear and rotate. Clear and rotate. That's, I believe, what NUS is thinking about. Whereas for ITE College West, we can see that there's a Cho pick. That's why I kind of missed that because the pizza is really, really good. I think I should stop talking about the pizza. I'm not going to be able to focus on the game. But hey, you guys should be enjoying one yourself. This pizza is really good. Go order yourself now on Pizza Hut as well. But Xbot will be able to outpoke in the top lane because, the wave clear, like I said, it's all about the wave clear. So NUS will be expecting a lot of good rooms coming right up.
And IT College West, they have 3 men that will be rotating down to the bottom lane, trying to set up some danger on the hands of NUS as much as possible. It does seem like Smelly Cat is not able to push up some of that dominance onto the rest of IT College West as it is for now. We are still looking at the early stages of the game. We do have the Tyrant's Revenge jumping all the way in onto the opponent's turret, but unfortunately it did not land on anyone just yet. So for now, still on a stalemate. 0-0, and in terms of gold and net worth, we're looking at 2.9 thousand gold coming from NUS.
Oh.
I don't think that's gonna do much, but that was a flicker coming in from Ruby and the perfect timing just to ensure that he escapes away from the final burst of that last insanity.
that wave clear is paying off. And as they see Ruby is extremely low, they're giving that first blood over to Oh Dear Bambi, coming up, picking up that bounty and just gonna rotate back. And literally, even though, you know, it's still almost similar in terms of the fights and all those kind of stuff, but look at the goal lead. Because of that wave clear that they packed, it's 1,000 gold. I won't say $1,000, but 1,000 gold in the favor of NUS at this early game. So wave clear finally paid off. They really packed. I cannot stress enough, and I really like the fact that what we're looking right now, Smelly Cat is just daring Han to step closer and just doing Hilda things. And that's extremely nice to watch at the bottom lane.
And with the first kill in the hands of NUS, they definitely have a little bit more gold to work around with. They do not seem to have a lot of interest in trying to destroy or rather completely whittle down the numbers of ITE College West just yet. They are definitely going to be looking at the objectives for now. With Oda Bambi getting himself the turtle as well as the first kill for himself, I think that NUS would have a pretty good start to their mid games. But well, we'll see how this goes because Team ITE College West, they do have an Atlas.
Yes, but don't forget, on NUS side, they have the Kufra, they have the Loi, who will be kind of there to... I burped again because of the pizza. But they'll be there to kind of like hold on to it. But don't forget, you have Beef going in with a hard engage. Han will be forced to run away. That's not where you should be running towards your base. But at the same time, off the map, off the screen, Mungo went down. So, okay, they're gonna be able to trade this bottom lane turret for that kill. But at the same time though, ITE College West will be working on this turret right now.
Oda Bambi immediately jumps on top of Cho, and with that all said and done, the stickiness coming in from the Lee Sun Shin proves to be pretty strong, and he's able to destroy and kill off the Cho, who is supposed to be a little bit more slipperier in terms of a hero that Cho really is. The whole of NUS is going to be jumping right on top of Hayabusa, who is supposed to be pretty slippery as well. I suppose that there is no more of the Hitachi Shadow kill as well as the Quad Shadows. NUS doing pretty well in the midst of this game now, but we do have a beautiful hook coming in from Ruby. But unfortunately, despite that magnificent display, he did not get a single kill from that one.
Eyes on Shadow right now as he's looking for Fatal Links, won't be able to meet any target. That ultimate coming out from Odia Bambi is there just to scare people off. It's just there to, you know, show where they are as he's gonna be able to push down this bottom lane turret. Cho, literally a little bit redundant in this point of time. He doesn't have the gold, he doesn't have the pressure that can be exerted as NUS will be able to gain map dominance. But at the same time though, another fight happening at the mid lane. Okay, nope.
Nope, that's a big no. NUS, they do not want to overextend themselves. They have managed to get themselves the second turtle in a row now, and this is going to put their lead further in front of ITH College West. This, well, what can I say? How is this supposed to be working for themselves?
The macro play coming out from NUS is impeccable as they are here to just secure as much objectives as possible. Mungo might go down, but Harobet will be going in. But okay, Beef going out will be able to secure Mungo's safety, but Ruby will be there. But oh my goodness, it's so tight, it's so close. Everyone's trying to focus on Mungo, but no, he will be able to go down. But Odio Bambi coming in with the flank.
Oh, dear Bambi coming in, and he still have a lot of help. But what happened? Why didn't you touch them? Oh my god, but it's okay. Here comes Smelly Cat. He may be able to make a game or two. I'm not too sure how this is going to work out though. But the slow coming in on the Smelly Cat is just going to be completely immobilize him and ensure that the rest of ITE College West will be able to run away. But throughout all of that, ITE College West, they managed to pull themselves a couple of good hits in, and of course a good amount of kills onto Mungo, Harobet, as well as Beef, if I am not wrong.
Abstract, that was a very bruh moment. The Atlas Fatal Link is up. It's just one Odia Bambi. Yet we see 3 people hightailing it away from Odia Bambi. Is just, you know, showing up. What can Odia Bambi do? He can probably dash off. He's just walking up. But yet we see ITE College West. They're just retreating from the side of Odia Bambi. They don't want to take this fight. And speaking of fight, Shadow Kill will be used as they'll be chunking very closely down as Hayabusa will be going down for the count, and 70 seconds left in a recount timer. And look at that, Odia Bambi is just gaining his own map dominance. He just doesn't really care as he pushes it up. He knows he can take duels at anyone at all. It takes a whole literal quote-unquote kampong or a HDB block just to take down Odia Bambi at the bottom lane, as IT College West is behind in terms of the goal lead, behind in terms of the map dominance, and behind in terms of the objectives.
Now, this is not something that we pretty much expected. Lee Sun-shin winning against a Hayabusa in a 1 versus 1 duel. I suppose that in terms of net worth, Lee Sun-shin definitely have got more gold, and that is why he won against Hayabusa. Can we just take a look at the itemization as well as the gold real quick? With 7.3 thousand gold onto Lee Sun-shin, we pretty much understand that is going to be the third total that Team NUS has secured for themselves, and a total of 24,000 gold in terms of net worth. And we are looking at more Team Fight at the top lane. Eyes on Beef as he's trying to get a bouncing ball right on top of Shadow. He really wants to get a kill on him, but the turret is just hammering him away. No one is trying to go in for the final hit, but I believe that Odia Bambi came in just right on time to initially, or rather to finally, land the 2 finishing blow on the Shadow as well as the Hayabusa. More than enough, pretty much all prepared, with 3 men left coming in from both NUS and IT College West side. There is no way that they should be able to push into this inhibitor turret, but as long as they bring down the top tier, the top lane second tier turret, it is pretty much a-okay and all Gucci.
That was another bruh moment, alright? Like, Odia Bambi coming at, sorry, if you see how Beef is just hanging on with Dear Life, trying to melt down the enemy team, but then is just serving Odia Bambi with a nice juicy food, a finger food. Don't forget, Odia Bambi is already level 15, going up against perhaps the highest level from the other side of IT College Central is the Hayabusa with a level 11. And don't forget, 3k gold deficit is just 1 item away in terms of power. So Odia Bambi is feeling super fit right now. He can carry this whole team, and I believe that's what he's gonna do as the Lord timer is counting down in 30 seconds, as they might be looking at the play right now.
Immediately dropping the HP of the players here in ITE College West, dropping them down like Shadow. Yeah, really like grapes, right? And so Shadow as well as Han is going to be the first 2 players that have met their maker. We're going to be left with 3 men coming in from IT College West. How are they going to respond, and how are they supposed to defend whatever the NUS is throwing at them? The amount of damage coming from Odia Bambi, even from a range onto Valia, is a little bit too insane. The rest of NUS players, they are heading in, trying to bring down an inhibitor turret in the middle lane, successfully doing so. Mungo pushing into the top lane. They don't even care about the Lord at all. Hilda getting the kill right on top of the Valia is going to be another one to the name. And with looking at a 5 versus 4 situation, is this really going to be it? We've got a Tyrant's Revenge aiming up for Beef, trying to get himself away from all of that danger, and now the Lord is secured by NUS. Solo, yes, and this is going to be a tough one for IT College West.
Yeah, it's really hard to face this kind of composition with a lot of wave here. Look at that. Every time when they try to get close, they have the duality problem. But hold on a second. Atlas, with a beautiful Fatal Links, will be able to turn this tide around. Don't forget, Odia Bambi is not in the area. But now, finally, as Odia Bambi goes in, Hayabusa will be sniped down. But don't forget, the Lord is marching in. All thanks to Odia Bambi.
Ouch. This is the point of time where they are going to be trying to aim for the core as much as possible, but the thing is, IT College West, they have all 5 men coming in, the really nice one coming in from the Ruby, just immediately trying to get a kill on Odia Bambi, but just like that, he did manage to get a kill right onto the choke. But how about the rest? They're trying to lock him down as much as possible. Mungo is pretty much the one that's just going to be right in front of this Lee Sun-shin, trying to do his best to tank up for Odia Bambi as much as possible, but unfortunately, the Lord just going to be immediately going straight down. They are unable to touch the core at all, but the question is, are they still going to go for this? Is Omungo just going to be going straight down? They do have the last Insanity currently popping up. Now, he lost his Firaga armor. Everything is gone. But the thing is, he still have got his immortality. Is this all that enough for him to tank it all up, though? The rest of the players, we do have Smelly Cat coming straight in. Harrowbit is here. We got a legendary kill coming from Audio Bambi as well. When is this going to end? When is this spree from Audio Bambi going to work out for him? Because the rest of our IT College West, they are still strong on their heads. They're still ready to go straight in. Shadow trying to go for it. But here we have Turret's Revenge, Turret's Rage, trying to go straight in on the NUS. The whole point of time. Do we even have the last Insanity coming in being popped right up? We don't have the hook coming in from Ruby just about yet. But Audio Bambi with a slip over here trying to get himself away, but unfortunately was not able to get himself away just yet. With 2 versus 1 left, the core is still trying to meet his maker. He tried to land it on it, but Smelly Cat as well as Moongo, the 2 of them is pretty much all that's enough to bring the last man down as well as the core.
Extremely fierce, like a tiger, like a lion. Literally, Audio Bambi, like, he's not a deer, he's not a Bambi or a small little doe, but he is a tiger, a ferocious tiger, taking down taking down the Lord himself, and then poking, like deleting Hayabusa off the map, and then and it's just out damaged. It's just a whole thing, what I like to call out damage. Look at the damage chart.
43%.
43%.
Hero damage.
Oh my, oh
Total team fight
dear.
participation of 83%. Turret damage total of 49%. And, well, damage taken 14%. Of course, as a marksman, you definitely do not want to receive that huge amount of damage. I believe that Mungo did extremely well.
A lot of PO.
Dude, he really is the playmaker for that one. He made sure that he soaked up all the damage as much as he can to require Audio Bambi to go online in the later stages of the game. He needs to make sure that Audio Bambi don't go down because they know he is the hyper carry. That no matter what, Audio Bambi cannot die.
Yeah, so if it's like what we saw in the previous match. If you take down the Roger, the game the team loses. However, on this time, we see Audio Bambi stays alive as long as the amount of PU that that Mundo actually provides, the amount of damage he ate up just to make sure that people don't focus on Audio Bambi. So I would say that ITE College Central, they did not identify that Audio Bambi is the main person that you need to take down first. The Hayabusa's main target is actually Audio Bambi. But they cannot assassinate Audio Bambi at all. And don't forget, as a YSS, as Yushin Shin, he is fluid. He is dynamic like a Cho. And and you saw that one point of time where at the top lane, Audio Bambi walks up to lane, 3 members of IT College West just
away from him.
Alright, you know what?
Not want to deal with him
It's
at
like
all.
exactly. It's like he was given a run from sight command. Like you see Audio Bambi, you run. You don't even try to fight. Even though yes, I know you have the fatal links coming up. Don't even try. You run, and that's exactly what they did. Audio Bambi, and at the end, he has like level 15. He is already maxed out, and everything is all nice and dandy for them. They tried. That Lord is basically just a flex, in my opinion. They don't really need that Lord. Yet, Audio Bambi went in, soloed that Lord on his own. Well, technically, it costed his team, but hey, that last team fight still worked out well. And it's just, that was a very long drawn team fight, actually.
Here's something that I realized, or rather something that I focused on, is that Atlas, yes, Atlas, the Fatal Links is definitely the playmaker, but you also need to realize who you are pulling in with the Fatal Links. Throughout the entire match, as much as I can try to remember, I don't remember seeing Atlas trying to go for a flicker followed by a Fatal Links on top of Audio Bambi. He focused on a group of
front
people,
line, yeah.
right? The front lines. He focused to try to get everyone, as many people as he can. Previously, we talked about value. Yes, you try to get everyone close in and try to get at least 3 or 4%. That is great value. But you know what is greater value? Getting the main core
Getting
player.
the Audio Bambi.
Yeah,
You need
so-
to lock her down.
Exactly. So
lock him down.
getting the Audio Bambi is almost equivalent to locking down all 3 or 4 members.
I would say 4.
Right? So at this point in time, it's really all about prioritizing and understanding who you need to kill in order to disable them as much as possible. If you kill the Kufra, they lost one of their frontliners because they still have a Hilda, they also have an X-Ball. So if you lock all 3 of them down and you kill them all together, who do they have left? It's going to be Audio Bambi
And the
as
Loi.
well as the Loi. how are they going to play that fight? They still can to a certain extent because of the distance that they make, especially when Loi is able to pull off that distance, get them to slow, still deal the damage, and they would have a great space in between them. But if you kill the only Odia Bambi, what do they have? They have 3 tankers, or rather 3 beefy members, 1 member that is able to deal damage over time with his fire, we have 1 Hilda that just regenerates over time, as well as Kufa that just bounce around like a little bandage that he is, as well as a Loi. So ultimately, all of them have their own true value, but if you look at things at how a hyper carry operates, you would definitely want to bring down a hyper carry down. Easier said than done, but it's something that Atlas should be prioritizing on.
Yeah, so it's really like, even if, okay, as you notice, a very good point that you pointed out. If you notice, when Odin Bambi is actually doing the solo lord himself, there's actually 4 members at ITE College West side of the base.
And Fatal Links on the 3-person.
Fatal Links
they
on
won.
3-person, they won because Odin Bambi wasn't there. So which means that if we turn this a little bit around, if you think in another perspective, if you take out Odin Bambi, throw in as many people as you want, you might stand a chance, because the rest, they don't really do damage. Okay, fine, the Loi does damage, but I mean, like,
But they would just immediately back off.
Yes, they would have to back off.
They wouldn't even try to fight it anymore. They won't even try to fight it. They would just be like, back off. Let's wait for Yisushi to come back out. Then let's go for the kill.
Yeah, that's exactly what they did
Yeah.
at the last team fight as well. They're just buying time for the Inshinshin to get back on track, and then with the help of that last team fight as well. Before that last team fight actually started, don't forget, we saw Mungo going up against 3 members of IT College West and Odia Bambi. It's a 2v3, yet Odia Bambi was still able to turn that fight around, and that's the value of Odia Bambi in that whole matchup. And it's just pretty insane.
Yep. And with that all said and done, we've got game 3 that's already been in the bag, or rather, what's the other word for it? We are done and dusted. This is group stage A.
Yes.
So we'll be looking at group stage B for game number 4,
That's
and
right.
we'll get back to you guys as to which game we'll be covering for game number 5 later on. But for now, we're gonna go for a slightly extended break of 15 minutes, and we'll be right back, and we shall see you guys real soon.
That's right.
Say cheese. Guys, keep it simple. Okay.
It's easy to smile with Cheesy 7. 7 amazing cheeses plus cream cheese. Your slice of simple, 50% off.
JBL presents the sounds of victory. JBL Quantum Gaming headsets, because every sound matters.
You got the best of me. You got the best of me. 너의 꿈을 너의 참.
keep it simple.
Okay.
It's easy to smile with Cheesy 7. 7 amazing cheeses plus cream cheese. Your slice of simple, 50% off.
JBL presents the sounds of victory. JBL Quantum Gaming headsets, because every sound matters.
You got the best of me. You got the best of me. 눈을 구워, 눈을 참, 눈을
And once again, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Campus Legends 2020. And it's still J07 and Abstract right here. And wow, I'm still picturing that scene just now. I told you about it. Even during the break, we saw 3 members of IT College West running away from that one lonely marksman. It's just like, I know I said that already, and I said it like, it's just given a run on site command, and it reminds me of Minato. If you guys watch the Naruto anime series, you might get my reference there. Just literally running away from oh dear Bambi. It's just utterly hilarious.
Well, with that all said and done, we are gonna be looking at another game upcoming real soon. So do not go away, as we just gonna be chatting a little bit about what happened in the previous game, whereby we have already kind of like crunched down a little bit as
That's
to
right.
why IT College West has kind of lost that one because of the fact that their playmaker, which is Atlas, one of the reasons is that the prioritizing is not really the right thing. You kind of want to have a little bit more CCs going down onto their Yinsu Shin to lock down and make sure that their abilities and of course their damage dealing portion of that part doesn't go off the roof.
Yep, the Hayabusa did not pay it off. Like I said, in this kind of tournament, the Hayabusa is a little bit iffy. Like, it takes a lot of gold to put into Hayabusa to actually pop off. But then they kind of it kind of did not pay off because Hayabusa did not try to assassinate Bambi. And we saw that one segment where he tried. It was very close. And also, don't forget the heal coming out from Bambi as well is kind of ridiculous. So I'm not surprised. I'm actually kind of surprised they didn't really go for like a Necklace of Durance or a Deadly Blade as well. But speaking of which, you know what? Let's give you a quick update on the brackets as well, because don't forget, this is a round robin best of 1. So let's check out the brackets, shall we?
Let's go. It's all best of 1.
Best of 1 is just tough. It's very tight. Are we looking at the brackets, ladies and gentlemen? Yes, we are looking at the brackets once again. Quick check at Group A at NTU and NUS. Okay, so coming at top here, Group A, NTU, SIM, NUS, they have 2 wins in the bag. Whereas on Group B side, we're looking at Republic Poly with 3 games in the bag with Temasek Poly and IT College Central with 2 games each. Nanyang Polytechnic and Singapore Polytechnic with 1 game, 1 as of now.
Well. At this moment of time, Republic Poly is at the top tier because they have won every single game. Temasek Poly have won 2 out of 3. IT College Central have won 2 out of 3. And as for Group A side, it does seem like both NTU and SIM have gotten themselves with some flawless victory for now because they have only played 2 games. So for now, 2-2.
Yeah, during the group stage draw, I've actually talked about this with Escape Artists. In Group B, the team you should be looking out for is, of course, Republic Polytechnic with Masarap. You should be also looking out for, in my opinion, IT College Central team guys. They are extremely strong. So I'm actually very surprised that with the 3 games played, they actually lost one of them. So I'm really interested in seeing who actually beat out IT College Central. Apparently, it's actually TP according to the challenge brackets. So but then again, with RP actually going up against TP earlier on just now, I don't think that actually it wasn't a very good run as RP actually won that game. So very surprised. That actually kind of surprised me in a sense. So it kind of tossed my predictions a little bit off and wonky. But in my opinion, as of now, NUS looking very strong in Group A, and also at the same time, word from production that the draft are ready to go. So let's hop into the draft.
Well. We are looking at the next game, which is going to be Singapore Poly versus IT College Central now. Oh man.
Alma mater. I
yeah.
just have to.
Yeah,
FC3
yeah.
chicken rice. The chicken rice from FC3 is extremely scrumptious. You guys should check it out. But hey, chicken rice and food out of the way. Pizza's already gone. I probably ate the boxes at the same time. It was so good licking out the cheese out of that box. But let's focus on game.
IT College Central have a player called Fried Pigeon.
I think you recognize him, right?
Sounds
Team
familiar.
guys. Yep,
team
they
is
another tournament they called themselves Pigeon and Friends. Yeah,
Pigeon and Friends.
You probably remember that
Are
one.
they are they the full list? Okay, bread kind of seems familiar.
Actually,
I believe
it's
bread?
just fried pigeon and bread.
Oh, just fried pigeon bread.
I think
okay,
it's
so,
just fried pigeon and
so
bread.
Jun, Chu, and Dragon Master Ultimate. Okay, Dragon Master Ultimate, I definitely don't quite
Yeah.
remember him. But the thing is, it does seem like they are in the same squad in the end. So I don't know. I have a really bad memory, so I really hope that you guys forgive me if Dragon Master Ultimate was really in Pigeon and Friends in the end. But for now, Fried Pigeon, you've got my attention. Make sure you give us some good plays. But let's take a look at the bands now with Ling, Luoyi, Uranus, and maybe
Oh no.
Esmeralda?
Alright, okay, so for those who actually watched the Singapore Polytechnic qualifiers, we realized that in order for Singapore Polytechnic, this team, Team Spirits actually, in order to win this team, you have to take away 2 very key heroes. That is, first of all, the Sicilian in the hands of Snow. And if I'm not mistaken, it was, I can't remember for a moment, Sage with the Wan Wan? But I remember Snow with the Sicilian is used to great effect. So if you take those out, Singapore Polytechnic won't be able to react properly. But IT College Central, this time around, they did not do their homework. They did not ban the Wan Wan or the, the Sicilian. So hopefully they'll be able to pick that one, but
Well,
I'm not really sure.
Maybe they're really not one tricks after all. Perhaps
Yeah.
like they definitely have a wide arsenal of heroes
They're
that they
not
can
showing,
play.
and
Yeah.
they literally bamboozled me during the interview.
Yeah,
I've got no
and
idea.
maybe they have half truth in there. Maybe
Yeah.
what they mean by half like one trick is that they play that hero very very well, like better than all the other
There you go.
heroes.
Wen is picked by Singapore Polytechnic. That's literally
Wang.
oh fine. But anyways, looking at IT College Central, looking at the draft of IT College Central, it's the hands of Fried Pigeon to be picking right now, and well, Atlas is taken away by Singapore Polytechnic team. So it's up to ITC College Central to be able. Maybe we'll expect a Diggy if they're not going to go for a lot of Purify, but instead they're going to go for a Lunox instead.
So we have the kind of like the same thing again, whereby Lunox will be at the bottom lane and Selena as well as the Kufra will be in the middle lane. So we have yet to see a qualifying hyper carry coming in from IT College Central just yet. Hayabusa, Hellcat, Yi Sun Shin, Claude. In fact, not a lot of people has been picking Claude nowadays. So it's really more about
it's very
Granger,
odd.
Carry as well as Bruno now.
Yeah, it's a little bit odd because don't forget, Claude, not really much has changed for the patch, but maybe perhaps there are better people to pick, such as a Yishin used at very good efficiency, as we can see in Odia Bambi. In fact, he was also being banned in one of the first few matches in today's stream. But then again, it's up to Singapore Polytechnic to be banning. They'll be taking away the Lancelot, therefore securing, make sure that Wan Wen actually is safe from any form of attack. But don't forget, IT College Central with the Selena will be trying to pick off whoever's going to be controlling Wen. And also, Fright Pigeon, maybe with the Lunox, the main target is looking at Wen. However, once Wen with the crossbow attack is up, they'll be able. She goes invulnerable, so she can just basically shoot everyone at Heart's content.
Well, with Bauman being the one that's going to be picked by IT College Central, which is kind of understanding. Most people are starting to pick up Bauman a little bit more due to the amount of damage, as well as, most importantly, the lifesteal, survivability, as well, literally all the mobility that coming in that Bauman is able to give out. Snow is going to be shadow peeking onto the Sicilian. Like you said, it does seem like they do prefer the Sicilian as well as their 1-1 going about. And the last pick is going to be Esmeralda, which is kind of weird because they have left Esmeralda to pick for the last. So, all in all, we've got Singapore Poly that will be working with an Xbox in the top lane, very likely. We do have Uranus.
Being banned, actually.
Okay,
Uranus
yep.
banned off.
So top lane is going to be Xbox, bottom lane is going to be Esmeralda. Can be
Two
swapped.
offlaners.
Yep, 2 offlaners. Middle lane, understandably, Sicilian as a support. We do have the Uranus, the Atlas being a tank, and finally a hyper carry 1-1
That's
for ID College Central. Nothing out of the ordinary. I mean, it's kind of
Something is not ordinary because if you can see, the screen is gone. There is no Purify.
Oh no.
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, we're not seeing a Purify on the other side. Most of them packing all the flickers, and they're not even packing a Diggy all along. We saw what happened to Roger. I need to bring that up. Donbury, if I'm not mistaken, Donbury's Roger. He did not. He went for the Retribution instead of the Purify.
Correct.
That costed him going up against an Atlas. And don't forget, you have on Singapore Polytechnic side, they have the Sicilian.
In the meantime, Singapore Polytechnic side, they have 2 Purify. And the only thing that they have to, there are a few things that they can escape from. For example, is going to be Tyrant's Rage as well as Abyssal Arrow. So it is quite a easy decision for them to make. There really is not a lot of CCs coming in from Team IT College Central for them to get out of. So, well, I'm really interested to see how this game is going to unfold, who is going to get the early stages of the game. But as it is, and the way I see it right now, I would definitely say that IT College Central may have the upper hand solely because of the fact that they have a Selena as well as a Lunox.
Brad using Selena quite well in previous tournaments. We've seen the accuracy is almost impeccable. But don't forget, SP actually has picked out heroes that can scale in the late game. So if IT College Central were to bring this to the late game, they'll face monsters such as Snow. They have monsters such as Sapu as well. These will scale incredibly powerful at the late game. Whereas for ITECC side, well, Lunox technically can be kind of powerful in the mid game, but then Brad will fall off as a Selena. Brad will turn into more of a support. So therefore, I respect SP picking up 2 Purifiers on top of Snow because Snow have to stay alive as long as possible. So that's just in my opinion, just to prevent Brad will be landing on top of that, on top of the Abyssal Arrow. But YSS being picked from IT College Central, yes, he's also very powerful as well. So, like what you said. So, as the Atlas needs to target down Chu with the YSS, provided that he can actually land it down.
It does seem like a failed gank coming in from IT College Central. They were unable to capture Pharaoh. That is going to be hurdling himself up in the top lane. But in the meantime, it does seem like we do have kind of like a fight going on in the bottom lane. Selena tried to get a stun in, and in fact trying to get a kill onto the 1-1 as well as the Atlas. Here's something interesting though. It does seem like Team SP, they went for 1-2-2. I don't know if whether I got that right or not, but it kind of seems like it's going to be that way. Sage trying to get himself away from all of that, but unfortunately the ultimate coming in from Bauman is going to set him in place and immediately melt him down straight away. With Kufra bouncing ball in, as well as the final shot in the face of Sicilian. ITE College Central has gained themselves with the first 3 kills within a fraction of a minute, rather, and they're looking pretty well. It
Yep.
does seem like my prediction kind of went in the right way.
Well, technically, in the early game, IT College Central does have the advantage. They have Bread, they have Lunox, basically, as we're slowly creeping to the mid-game already. And look at how aggressive ITCC is playing through, looking very low. Sorry. Now, it feels like the aggression is biting them back, as Snow will be able to melt down Chu as he tries to escape. But I think he tried to dash over the wall, it does not work. But to be honest with you, early game, I'm expecting ITCC to be winning. But as you slowly and surely reach the late game, where you have Snow scaling out uncontrollably. Oh, nice stun coming out from Brad, stunning down as he's be trying to look down at Snow. But don't forget, that dash misses! The stun goes down from Sage as Brad. Bad misplay as Snow still walks out alive. The Purify being popped at the very last moment right here. Sage will be able to walk out of that. What can Akufra do to an Esmeralda?
Absolutely nothing. That's what I can tell you. But it does seem like their main purpose is to evade, or rather to redirect the Esmeralda as well as Sicilian away and to someplace else. And it does seem like they managed to do it. IT College Central has stolen away the opponent's purple buff, and they have now redirected themselves back at the turtle, looking to be pretty good as well. We do have the fatal links coming from Soul, capturing down onto Selena, as well as the fact that 1-1 gets the kill onto Kufra. Singapore Poly is now catching up in terms of kills, but not yet on the net worth. Chu in the middle lane trying to defend, or rather trying to get as much farm as possible. It is still rather early for us to say who's gotten themselves better in these in the second part of this game, which is the mid stages of the game. Darkening as well as the Chaos Assault just gonna be, well, lighting Snow up in darkness and brings him down.
Yeah, so ITECC, they are packing a very aggressive early game. They packed up a Selena, but this time around the Selena is at 0-2-3. That's kind of not a position that a Selena wants to be in the early game, because you want to be that assassin that takes away key targets and then getting out of there swiftly, or at least get a kill before you die, as Red will be playing a little bit more of a support right now, getting very nice stun. Don't forget, Sapu has technically a built-in Purify as a Wang. However, Sage looking a little bit trouble right here, but Snow landing bad impact after bad impact at the same time. Oh, Sage will have to go down.
The snipe coming from Yu Sushin definitely managed to help Esmeralda meet her maker. And just like that, even though she tried to get himself away with the Falling Star Moon, he wasn't able to evade from that skill shot. So, well played coming from Chu. But in the meantime, let us take a look at the bottom lane. It does seem like the Abyssal Arrow is just going to be landing immediately onto the heads of Sapu. He did try to get himself away from all of that with his second skill, but the amount of effort, the amount of damage coming from Fried Pigeon and Bread themselves is way too much for him to handle. And now, ID College Central has, well, credited himself with a little bit more kills and now putting themselves in a net worth of a total of 16,000.
Yeah, and literally, you saw how Fried Pigeon is just taunting SP with lots of emotes right there, and the bait pulled off as Soul goes in with eject. He picks up, he's able to melt down Sapu like he never existed. But at the same time, don't forget, Snow can wave clear very nicely with a bad impact. And I don't know, it just feels like ITECC has to end the game as early as possible, or SP will be able to walk out of it. And don't forget, every minute goes by, Snow will be able to stack as much that stack that he has as possible. So definitely ITECC playing on the timer, but I just hope that their hyper aggression in the early game. Oh, I take that back.
It doesn't seem like, in the end, it does seem like they did manage to get a kill onto the 1-1. But for now, IT College Central, none of them have went down just yet, even though they have a major suppression, or rather a major domination at the bottom lane. They're just killing the enemies right under the nose of the turrets. Yet another Abyssal Arrow lands on top of the heads of Snow. He goes straight in. Brett gets himself out with a flicker. That is pretty much almost a full team wipe. And now it is a full team wipe.
Well, Atlas respawning a little bit awkward right there. Like, hey, where did my team go? But at the same time, it's just ITECC hyper aggression finally paid off. They're not allowing SP to scale uncontrollably. Don't forget, they have to end this game right here, right now. And look at the damage coming out from Fried Pigeon right here, as when as Sapu is forced on a retreat. It really cannot play against such an aggressive team. If ITCC, they know that they have to end this game right here, right now, as they'll be heading atop of that mid lane turret.
But you know what the thing about it, I can't remember where exactly Esmeralda was laning at, and that is kind of something that I would want to point out and look at it in the later stages of the game. We'll have a little bit of a discussion on that one. But for now, we're looking at ITE College Central. They are just immediately for Fright Pigeon. He's just in front of their base, and he's just knocking right at our doors. Snow with a sliver of health, he will be able to get himself with a decent amount of distance away from the opponent. We do have also the Falling Star Moon putting himself and the rest of the opponent's team into the coffin, and with that, the final nail to the coffin, the entirety of SP goes straight down with a triple kill to Brett's name. Is it Brett or was it Chu's name? And just like that, 8 minutes in, ITE College Central have gotten the control of the core with no way for SP to turn things around.
8 minutes in, we finally saw a crossbow attack. I don't believe we actually seen any crossbow attack being popped off.
That was the
that
was the first crossbow attack.
And the last crossbow attack. And even before the animation ended, the game already ended. And that is just very painful in the face of SP. They thought that they can turtle up, they can outscale in the late game, but ITECC had the other mentality. They're just going to, you know what, I'm going to be super aggressive. And you can see how reckless they are. And SP did not identify that, hey, you know, they're playing reckless, and they tried to fight. And don't forget, their team composition is weak early game. They're not very strong at the late. They're not very strong in the early game. But on the side of ITECC, they have the stronger early game, and they identify that. They ended the game within like what, 8 minutes. To be honest with you guys, if you guys follow us on last week where we watched the Singapore Polytechnic qualifiers, Spirits are basically Team SP right here. They end game within 10 minutes, almost for 4 games in a row. But now they finally had the taste of their own medicine.
I would say that, okay, let's just dive in onto a really short analysis and to understand why Spirits has gotten themselves in this place. Do you remember from their previous gameplays, do they actually rock with 1-2-2?
My impression, no, they don't. They rotate very quickly. They don't really stay in lane. If you notice, it's just these three with the Wen. Snow with the Sicilian, Sapu with the Wen, and Atlas. These 3 people are the 3 musketeers that goes around. Esmeralda and the Xbox are there just to hold on, while these 3 just rotate very aggressively. But it feels like they are trying to match Team Gaius' aggression. I would say that just this time around, SP, they failed to identify that, hey, I actually have a weaker late game, so I shouldn't try to rotate as much. They need to stack up as much gold as possible on top of the Wen. But Wen, as of now, is too weak to fight in the early game.
Right, so in the end, it kind of seems as though, at least to me, I can't really remember their entire laning phase, but it kind of seems as though that,
They don't really have a laning phase, to be honest.
I mean, it's kind of iffy for me because okay, so understandably, right?
Because,
Esmeralda does very well holding and just anchoring a lane all by her own, but I don't quite remember her having her own, spotlight in the bottom lane because Xbox has been in the top lane the whole time, right? Xbox has pretty much been there the whole time doing his job, which is defending the turret, and I think that he did well in that extent, whereby he did so well to the point that he's been outshadowed the entire time.
That's right.
No, we didn't really have anything about him because he's just doing his job. As a fighter, stay at the top lane, defend the turret, maybe just, kind of rotate yourself to the middle lane, help out a little bit here and there, and go back up to the top lane. But for what I remember, the most of the time that I remember is that Atlas and 1-1 has been in the bottom lane. And Sicilian is in the middle lane together with Esmeralda. So I'm not too sure about the Esmeralda and Sicilian part, but I remember very well that Atlas and the 1-1 has been in bottom lane for quite a decent amount of time. And that was even before 3 minutes, with no sight of Esmeralda, with no sight of Sicilian as well. If Esmeralda is somewhere around, together with Sicilian, yes, I can understand that they try to go for a full, an all-out push, or rather they try to destroy or kill someone in bottom lane. But I don't remember seeing that. I remember someone is in middle lane.
To be honest with you, Abstract, in my opinion, it feels like Team Gaius with the hyper-aggression, I don't call them as aggressive. They are hyper-aggressive. I've never seen, we don't really see very aggressive plays coming out of from our teams, but Team Gaius, or basically ITECC right here, they just being so hyper-aggressive, they have forced the laning phase. That's why you don't really see a laning phase. That's why all you see are fights happening over and over and over and over again because of how hyper aggressive Team Gaius is, and therefore. Because of that, I believe SP was like, okay, you know what? I don't think we can take this early game fight. They tried to macro it up. They tried to turtle down. So maybe that's why you see the Esmeralda going to the top lane to kind of help Snow, to support Snow, whereas Wen and Atlas will be at the bottom lane. But don't forget, because of how Team Gaius, they're just, pummeling
They're very
in.
reactive
They
as
are
well.
very, they just know how to take very, I don't know, it's just
They just have a wrecking ball on them at any time.
a wrecking ball that might hit back at them, but at this point of time, it actually benefit them. Initially, you see a few fights, you think that actually SP had the upper hand. In fact, there's this one point of time where SP actually got the upper hand, but then in terms of the gold lead, Team Gaius is still there, even though they took very bad trades. But I feel like it's just how Team Gaius work. They're hyper aggressive. Right? I've been repeating this point over and over. They're super aggressive, and they're here to wreck your team composition. And that's what they did in this very fight.
Right. So in the end, I would say that Team Gaius, or rather from ITE College Central, they have a strong early game composition.
That's right. They
Imagine,
identified that.
imagine them fighting against Team RP,
Yeah.
who is strong in the later games because they know how to macro, they know how to kind of turtle up,
Yep.
and they usually just turn that way. Because from the lineup of Team IT College Central, they had like Selena, Lunox, and Lunox.
Very
like,
early game matchup.
Yes, correct. So they have the early game magic damage bursts, and that is just kind of the thing that will just push everyone away.
Yeah,
and
that's right.
As long as the team knows how to turtle about, they knows how to pick good trades as well as singling out one player after another one. That would usually be what helps a late game composition. Bring forward their late game into the mid game just so that they their hyper carry can go online a little bit faster than normal.
Yeah, but this is Exhibit A, where you have a late game composition going up against early game with SP with the late game composition, whereas Team Guys have the early game composition. And, well, we know Masara from Team RP, they are late game. So, Exhibit A says that, hey, Team Guys knows how to fight against people who can scale or play a late game composition. Now, what is Team RP gonna do? That's something we should find out.
There's definitely something we'll find out, which could be for next week, and I believe that might
not
be
sure.
the grand finals. But the question is, will they hit the grand finals? I will think that they are one of the
I think they
crowd
are.
favorites. So I will just safely say that we will be looking at them in the grand finals. But how would they be fighting against each other if they're going to be fighting against each other?
That's right.
So for now, we're just going to go right on ahead to a short break, and we will feature with you guys the last game, game number 5, best of 1 as well. After a really short break, we'll let you know which game we are covering. We'll see you.
Say cheese. Guys, keep it simple. Okay.
It's easy to smile with Cheesy 7. 7 amazing cheeses plus cream cheese. Your slice of simple, 50% off.
JBL presents the sounds of victory. JBL Quantum Gaming headsets, because every sound matters.
You got the best of me. You got the best of me. Midnight cold war, midnight time.
Keep it simple.
Okay.
It's easy to smile with Cheesy 7. 7 amazing cheeses plus cream cheese. Your slice of simple, 50% off.
JBL presents the sounds of victory. JBL Quantum Gaming headsets, because every sound matters.
You got the best of me. You got the best of me. Midnight cold war, midnight time.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Campus Legends 2020. My name is J07, and still joining me here is Abstract. And that game just now that we watched with between SP and ITCC is just, I think it sparks a lot of debate between us.
Right.
Where, we thought that, SP would be able to bring this to the late game. Whereas they pick like super strong heroes for the late game, but then team guys with their hyper aggression and then just pummels the whole team composition, like obliterated SP's mental, I would say mental form of how they want to play the game, and just and team guys won the game within like what 8 minutes, 9 minutes.
8 minutes in this. And with that all said and done, ITCC will be facing off against Team RP. Unfortunately, we are going to hold on that for a little bit. We do not want to give you guys too much information of how they play. No, not really. But wouldn't it make of a little bit more a better narrative once we see them in the grand
Technically,
finals?
yeah,
Because
right.
we are looking at two teams from each group stage from each group, to qualify for the grand finals. So top two of Group A as well as top two from Group B, and very likely we may see ITCC as well as RP being picked up for the top two. But if not, then boy, oh boy, I have no idea what else to say.
Yeah, man. Like everything will be everything that we say will be tossed into the garbage, and then we have to reanalyze everything for you again. But before we actually enter the game, let's take a look at the brackets, because I realize that some of you guys are asking for it, and ask the you shall receive. Group A, we're looking at a total of right now. Still at the top ranking, we're looking at NTU and SIM. They still won 3 games each. We'll be looking at NTU and SIM in just a moment. But then NUS will be climbing up very shortly with 2 games won. Whereas on the side of Group B, we have Republic Polytechnic playing a flawless round robin this time around. 4 games played with 4 games in the bag. And Temasek Poly with 3 games in the bag. And also IIT College Central with 3 games as well. I'm not sure what to feel about Group B. It feels like it's a very tough competition right there in Group B. You have Republic Polytechnic and ITECC. These are our fan favorites of Campus Legends, brought to you by Skullguard as well. But I'm afraid we have to show you the NTU versus SIM in the short one. And also, a little birdie from Chalon actually told me that apparently TP and IIT College Central actually fought against each other, and TP won that game. But do note, this is a best of 1. Anything and everything can go wrong in the best of 1. Don't forget how IT College Central play. They are hyper aggressive. They play like, they're not even thinking about macroing up. They're just going in with the invade, they're going in with the damage and all this kind of team fights, all this kind of stuff. So maybe that backfire against them, and perhaps whoever is going to fight against ITCC, that is going to be extremely important. alright?
Exactly. ITE College Central will be fighting against Republic Poly. Temasek Poly will be fighting against ITE College East as well. And finally, this is kind of like the main thing, right? TP will be fighting against ITE College Central East. If ITE College Central wins against Republic Poly, then this means that Republic Poly would not be able to get that flawless win, so it becomes 4-1. If Temasek Poly loses against ITE College East, then that's going to be a if TP wins against ITE College East, that will be a 4-1. And if ITE College Central were to win against Temasek Poly, then that's for a 4-1. So we may have a 3-way tie if that's the case.
I think one thing that we have to point out, I know the drafting already started, but we have to point this out. IT College Central must win against RP, which is playing in the background. We're trying to resolve that while we're watching NTU versus SIM. So they have to win versus RP in order to stand a chance to qualify. So that's going to be important while we're watching this game between NTU versus SIM. So you know what, ladies and gentlemen, let's hop into the draft right now.
NTU versus SIM, both teams have played 3 games, and all 3 games are what's wrong?
One band missing from SIM.
Oh. I'm not too sure. We have no information as to if whether it's going to be a remake just yet, but it may very well seem like this is going to be a go-ahead. But either way, NTU versus SIM, both of them will be fighting each other. In some sense, they will be playing for the they are playing for the seeding, because both of them. Asfalov?
Yeah, I recognize
Oh.
that. I recognize that. I think I recognize him in other tournaments as well.
Yes, Asfalov is one of the players from Asterisk, where they one of the winning players of Asterisk.
The Claude. Is it the Claude?
I can't remember.
I can't remember. It's a long time ago.
Yeah.
But anyways, history aside, these two teams, yes, they are kind of like, in a sense, qualifying for this, but they are playing to be seeded in the in phase 3. But you know what? We're still waiting a little bit of a confirmation whether we are gonna, remake this game. But we're just gonna play it off first. It could be an in-game bug or all those kind of stuff. We're not really sure as of now, but you know what? We'll just let it go for the time being. But we hope we will be able to resolve this very quickly. But you know what? Let's just say, for example, we're going ahead with this game. I think this game will be kind of interesting because, once again, NTU not picking the Atlas as a first pick. They're just going to go straight with the Atlas, or SIM will be going to pick up the Atlas away from NTU. And like I said, Atlas is the playmaker. This could be potentially big. We saw how win rates are, increased just because of Atlas as well.
So now we are going to be looking at the second phase bans, whereby, let's see, we've got a good amount of hyper carries that is still available. So I would be expecting that some of these marksmen as well as the assassins will ban out. Lancelot, Hellcut, as well as Hayabusa may see themselves in that pool, and there could be a possibility where we will start to see Carry and even Yi Sun Shin being thrown into the banning pool.
If I were NTU right now, I have to ban away those heroes that could jump right in because I need to protect Farsa, who is the main target, who's to be the one who is able to create this no man's land.
Fighters that can go in, and that is be Jawhead.
Jawhead, Cho, maybe Kaja. We don't really see a Kaja anymore.
Nah, Kaja is kind of like thrown away.
Because of that nerf, right? That last patch is just painful to watch. As NTU will be banning pretty soon, I hope. Okay, gonna be banning away the Hayabusa. Technically, yep, it serves the same purpose. You don't want to have anyone diving right on into your Farsa. You want to make sure that the Farsa stays as alive as possible. As alive as possible. In order to dish out a lot of damage and zoning out the enemy team. And don't forget, on the side of SIM, they have a lot of dive. They have a lot of dives. They have the Atlas who can dive. They have the Esmeralda who can also dive at the same time. So they need to find a good angle to find that Farsa. Cho, very interesting.
Please take the Jawhead away. Please, NTU, please take the Jawhead away. Please do not give them the Jaw. Okay, to be fair, right? SIM, they don't really need the Jawhead anymore.
They've got too many fighters. They've got in my opinion, one offlaner is way too many offlaners.
Okay, let me tell you this. What if you were to see Jawhead as well as Cho in their respective side lanes, and then you see a hyper carry Esmeralda? Because that can be possible.
That can be possible, but don't forget, Esmeralda in the early game, she's gonna get outpoked. So I don't believe you want to put an Esmeralda in the mid lane. Because in the mid lane is where you will see likes of Farsa, you will see the Bruno perhaps, and you might see the Popo and Kuba. These three are, ranged pokes. So you don't want to put your Esmeralda in the mid lane. You want to put it at the side lanes as well, where they'll be fighting against perhaps a Hilda who can match perhaps in the sustain. But then again, Hilda, we've been seeing Hilda a lot in this tournament, and it's just interesting, to be honest. And, well, we don't see a YSS being picked right there. Instead, SIM will be picking up that carry. A little bit awkward in my opinion, because for a carry, you are short range. In order to get to the Farsa, it's quite a distance away. So I don't understand why they want to pick the carry. I expected like something like a Kimi, something like a long range artillery, or even perhaps a Grandeur. In my opinion, it's just easier to use as an long-range artillery, all this kind of stuff, in order to fight against a, Farsa. But maybe they saw the X-Borg, they saw the Hilda, and they were like, okay, you know what? I need to take some tank busters. And ladies and gentlemen, here we go onto the battlefield with NTU on the blue side, SIM in the red side.
I can pretty much understand the pick coming in from Carry and the fact that they picked up a Cho instead of a Jawhead, because the amount of CCs coming from Cho is a lot higher than Jawhead. Jawhead is the kind of hero that goes in and completely decimate your opponent, right? You really just want to go in to get a kill, and getting a kill is a major thing. But fighting against an opponent which has a Farsa, you would want to look at getting more utilities, whereby Cho have got that. Whereby you go for a Jikundo. Yes, Jikundo gives you that that knock-up in your final kick, as well as your Way of the Dragon. So that is 2 CCs in a single hero. Jawhead doesn't really quite have a lot of CCs. Yes, you have Unstoppable Force from that one, as well as the fact that you do have Force Ejector. Yep. So in the end, you don't really have a lot of, a easy get in, because Force Ejector, or not Force Ejector, the Unstoppable Force, right? Yeah. Unstoppable Force, you require a far distance, and you need to aim the target. It is a point-click ability, while Jikundo is a skill shot. Close. Yep. So immediately going in with a skill shot of that Jikundo onto the Farsa is more than enough to get her into Wings by Wings and get herself all the way far away. Or maybe even just knock up and completely gone with the Feathered Airstrike.
So, I agree with what you said. Rather than going for a Jawhead, going for the Cho, it allows you to move closer to Farsa, whereas just still scaring people away. Your whole main goal of a Cho right now, and this particular matchup, is to deny the Feathered Airstrike. But speaking of which, a team fight might not happen, alright, might not happen at the mid lane, because, Asvalov right here doesn't have the level 4 up. The Atlas doesn't have the level 4 up as well. These are when SIM will be looking to play team fight. But however, on the bottom side, blue team, basically on the off lanes, you can see NTU out trading SIM. NTU is having the upper hand. So not really sure what they're going to do. SIM looking to gank a little bit at the top lane, but Waka Waka has to run away.
Whoa, Waka Waka with a sliver of health gets himself away from the Hilda, because Hilda doesn't really have a lot of gap closer. But in the end, let us just understand a little bit more about what's going on throughout the maps, right? Hilda in the top lane is kind of winning against Cho, if I'm not wrong.
The regen. I blame it on a regen.
But okay, so here's the problem. Here's the other problem, right? We can say that the regen of Hilda helps him win against Cho. But how would you explain Esmeralda losing to X-Borg?
Wave clear. X-Borg has a wave clear. You try to fight against, but you know what? We hold that thought as Darwin's looking for the last Insanity Pop. Will be melting the Valero down, but hold on a second. At the other side, Liburnum having a little bit of trouble as KUK is trying to look for that Bruno fight. However, won't be able to pick that off. KUK going in for a re-engage, but there is no angles for SIM. NTU holding their lane pretty strong. as they will be able to rotate down, maybe to catch KU instead, or perhaps to go ahead with the turtle.
Well, in the end, it does seem like the rest of NTU as well as our trusty Cho is going in.
That's a dead Farsa.
No.
That's a dead Farsa.
No.
Oh, wait. What? No!
You know
What?
why? The main issue. Okay,
Okay,
it is a dead
that's a dead
Farsa.
Farsa.
But at what cost?
2.
At what cost? Why would they do that? Number one, Cho kicked in the wrong direction. He did not take the time to relocate himself just so that the Way of the Dragon were to kick him towards the lane. In fact, he tossed him, or rather he kicked him towards the opponent's turret, whereby the opponent have a really clear access to that team fight. And ultimately, I'm just not a big fan of whatever that's happened over there.
As a fighter main Abstract himself, I can sense the disapproval from your end. But as a marksman main, what I saw there just now, well, when the shenanigans are happening at the bottom lane where, those Cho fighters that made the bad move, Rox right here with, Rox is the clan name, 1-2-3, 1-2-3, with the carry, secured that turtle. So it's gonna act as a damage control. Yes, I give away 2 members of my heroes to your end. I'm just gonna take this turtle.
Well, I don't know about that, but in the end, because this is a team game after all, we'll see whether team game wins or a single carry wins. I mean, it kind of worked. I mean, from many other times that we've seen it work. But anyways, does seem that the Blade of Heptasis is going to be picked up by Hilda, and this is going to be quite a menace
It's a power
to
spike,
the rest
actually.
of the team. If I'm not wrong,
Okay. Do you approve of that troll kick right there?
Yes,
Because
yes.
I approve of that troll kick.
Yes.
Kicking Hilda right into SIM teams, but hold on a second. NTU is just going to trade that hero away for a mid lane turret. Going to open up the map for themselves as another potential team fight will be happening in the mid lane turret.
and of course, the last Insanity will be popping off right after Waka Waka, and he's going to be the first one going down from that team fight, with the rest of the Esmeralda breaking into smithereens. And even Asvalov that's playing on the Fasa is going to go down from all of that as well. We're looking at 6 minutes in with 6-3 in terms of net worth. We're gonna take a look at that one in a little while later, as Fan Choi went in straight for a straight-up assassination onto that Popol and Kuba, immediately taking him away from the surface of this earth, making it into 6-4 with the total net worth of only 1,000 gold deficit.
Well, that Cho is actually looking a lot richer as compared to his other teammate. Instead, you want to put that amount of gold into your carry. Carry will be the one who's guaranteed to carry your game. However, KU will be trying to trade with Darwin. Darwin finally. You remember what you said earlier just now in the bottom lane? You're kind of surprised that the Xbox is unable to match with Esmeralda, but
No,
you know what?
Xbox was winning against Esmeralda just now, and now with the change of pace, it makes sense now, because Esmeralda is winning against Xbox in the bottom lane, provided due to the fact that Darwin does have the immortality. And speaking of immortality, that's going to be popped. He's going to find himself with the opportunity to go straight in with the last Insanity, pops off one, Esmeralda goes down as well. It does seem like the rest of the team SIM is finding themselves in the graveyard, with 1-2-3 being the last man remaining, and of course the reset of the purple buff comes in real soon. But all in all, 1-2-3 did not take the purple buff.
Yeah, and not only that, they lost their purple buff, they lost that mid lane turret and a tier 2 turret. Now it's just that inhibitor turret, which is going to be crucial. Like I said, because of the early takedown of that mid lane turret, it opens up the map from NTU a lot. Therefore, they can get that purple buff away from 1-2-3. And 1-2-3 cannot do anything against a Farsa, getting stunned right here. And it feels like KU will be looking to forfeit this bottom lane turret as well.
And Waka Waka finds himself in a perfect opportunity to try to go for the Fatal Link, but I believe the Fatal Links only landed on one person. We even had a Feathered Airstrike that will be proving as a zoning tool, or perhaps even a tool to try to wipe off Waka Waka, but it did not happen. Waka Waka got himself away with just a sliver of health, perfectly executed, and it does seem like from all of their ultimates being used, NTU did not secure a single kill, so they have resorted to going all out for that bottom second tier turret.
I would say it's a little bit awkward, coming.
A little bit, yeah, awkward.
It feels
and
like SIM won and then suddenly NTU took by storm, and then it's like back to SIM again, and then it's back to NTU again. It's like a 1-2 fight where both sides loses. But you know what? It's just probably the impression of the team fight. SIM probably did not do, like, even though they won the team fight, they don't press on to the objectives. Look at the turret of NTU, they're super healthy. But on the side of, from the side of SIM, clean lanes for the mid and the bottom lane.
And as it is for now, for SIM side, they have lost 2 turrets in the bottom lane, 2 turrets in the middle lane, as well as 1 turret in the top lane. The barrier of entry for NTU is going to be very, very high, but it does seem like SIM, they have been picking off players of NTU every now and then. So NTU, they have to be really careful with where they roam. They can't really face check bushes anymore. They can't really roam by themselves anymore. They really need the help of their entire team, or rather just tag along 2%, just go around and find a way to
Buddy
farm.
system.
Yeah, buddy system.
But hold on a second, as Lord is another fight happening in the mid lane, as Darwin will be popping down Last Insanity, trying to catch Waka Waka, but Waka Waka is moving so quickly. The fires are coming in, the wolf lands as it secures the kill of Waka Waka. Waka Waka goes down, no more fatalings for the side of SIM. What is SIM will be able to do? No, they are on full retreat, but oh, that Bruno barely melts down from the first kill of 1-2-3, 1-2-3. Farsa will be using the Feather Airstrike, will be trying to catch out the one carry, but not meeting its mark. And look at that, easy, just try to hunt down 1-2-3, 1-2-3, as 1-2-3 will be able to successfully back up. Look at Darwin going in with a Last Insanity. Simply insane. Past 2 times when we see Darwin using that 1-2 Last Insanity is just used at its best.
And into the point of time, Waka Waka goes straight in with the Fatal Links, but unfortunately, it is going to be on Darwin. He does have immortality, and he will be able to get himself away from all of that after resurrecting. Throughout all of that team fight, Team NTU has managed to clinch themselves, and as well as the destruction of the inhibitor turret in the middle lane. Kyokyo finds himself in a bad spot. He's going to be instantaneously incinerated and out of this round. We do have the Feathered Airstrike going to be activated, trying to wave clear just a little bit, helping up the top lane. But SIM, with 4 men still alive, they should be able to defend this just A-okay. And NTU is forced to fall back for now.
To be honest with you, that you say SIM defending this A-okay, I don't think it's an A-okay. Look at that mid lane turret, mid lane is open. That's the shortest lane for the minions to march right in. NTU now has total map dominance. They can walk over SIM as they please. They have the map dominance. And I would like to point out this one point. Look at that. Okay, fine. Maybe Pupo and Koopa will be focusing on the wolf instead. That's not the main person you want.
Tanky.
Oh yeah, that's a very tanky and beefy wolf. But you know what? I need to give credit where credit is due. Look at Darwin. Whenever he pops that Last Insanity, just insane. He's like super low. He already popped.
He hasn't died yet.
He hasn't died as of now. You've seen him going in with Last Insanity with risky. Very risky. This is like barely bare minimum of health, but everyone seems to be running away from him. I was like, hey, he's just very low health. Just finish him off. But no. SIM is on full retreat, and speaking about full retreat here, there's not much turrets to retreat back from, as SIM has only a single bastion of the bottom lane remaining.
And the top lane inhibitor turret as well as middle lane inhibitor turret is now down. NTU have got their eyes on set onto the bottom lane. We do have a big amount of damage coming on here. Waka Waka currently lower than 50% HP. All of them have got their eyes on him. They are going to be instantaneously melting him down. Next person in line, Cuckoo going down. Valia is going to be the only man remaining trying to defend the core. Is it enough? That is an absolute no, as the Feathered Airstrike rains down that artillery strike onto him and his deadly body, and that is going to be the final nail in the coffin for NTU. Congratulations to NTU as they managed to win against SIM to maintain their flawless win.
That, I'm not sure whether it's appropriate for me to say this on mic, but that takes bravery for the Xbox to go right back in for the re-engage, popping off his immortality at that very silver of health, yet he still goes in. Insane play coming out from our Xbox player right here, and I believe it's just leads to decimation, because I don't believe anyone expects the Xbox to re-engage. It takes, I want to say those 3 words out loud, but I'm not really sure whether it's appropriate. I'm just gonna call bravery. Just bravery coming out from our Xbox player, making sure, like, I don't know why everyone's just running away from the Xbox. It's just Last Insanity, respecting a little bit too much of the Last Insanity pop. Yes, it's a AoE skill. It does quite a bit of damage, but I feel like true damage. But maybe a little bit too much respect, but maybe respecting. But hey, that is just Pure insanity.
Yep. From what I see from the chat, it does seem like that is a SG #1 Xbox. So if that's the case, then we are not too surprised about that because we're really looking at the fact that he has been zoning the opponents out pretty
That's right.
well. They understand how they would want to enter into a team fight, how they will want to zone the enemies, who are they really fighting against. They're just really just picking out the enemies one after another. They are not looking at their back lines. They're just melting down the front lines. They got the Atlas, and then they got the Esmeralda. They have no front lines anymore.
Yeah,
What do they do?
it just feels like, you're having a dinner at sushi bar. The sushi comes in, and Atlas comes in, you pick up the plate, you eat it. And then now the next one, Esmeralda comes back and you pick it up and you eat it. That's how it plays. It's not like where the 5 conveyor belts converge on together. So bad team communication perhaps coming up from the side of SIM. You can see that last team fight. They're just going in one by one. and it's just ineffective at all.
That is something that we don't really expect coming in because we were kind of expecting, NTU and SIM to kind of be like a really close fight because both of them has been winning flawlessly throughout,
Yeah.
and perhaps they will be able to give us a good fight. Indeed,
Yep,
they
that's right.
did, but we were expecting something a little bit closer.
Yeah, not that game was what 10, 8?
I can't remember.
Around 10 to 8
Around
minutes.
there, yeah.
Around 10 to 8 minutes. I expect this game will be dragging along to 15 minutes fight. But Atlas, he failed two fatal links. I would say, don't forget, on the side of NTU, they did not pack a single purify. Check back at the bots, guys. They did not pack a single purify. Yet, there's no big fatal link. We didn't see big fatal links. The Farsa is still alive. And it's just a little bit awkward for Waka Waka. And then after that, just, there's no good fatal links. There's no good follow-up.
I
And
believe that most of the fatal links landed on 2 key players,
One or
or
two.
rather 2 key
Frontliners.
characters.
Yeah.
1, Xbox. 2, Cooper.
Yeah. Oh, fatal links on top of your wolf? What? Yeah,
So
that's right.
far, these 2 are the one that I constantly see being roped in from the fatal links, and not Popol, not anyone else. And
Yeah,
yes, they managed to get a kill onto the Xbox, but he resurrects from immortality.
He never technically died. He just resurrects, coming back from the dead, and then last insanity pop you, and then you're like, wait, I thought you're down. You should be retreating, but no, he come back, rushing back to me, literally putting the insane into the last insanity, literally. And then also, I realized that as I am kind of zoned in onto the Koopa, like, dude, you should be attacking the human, not the wolf. Like, you do notice that they're focusing down on the
Yes,
wolf instead. And
correct.
you actually commented that, oh, that wolf is tanky. I'm like, yeah, he's tanky. Like, why are they attacking that wolf, not the others, not the human that's actually trying to run away?
My
So,
God, poor Cooper.
Yeah,
That's
man.
all I'm gonna say. Poor Cooper.
Wolf's life matter.
Wolf's life matter, indeed. Well, so that is the end of game number 5 and all that we have for today.
I'm not really sure as of now, but you know what? I believe we bought enough time for the brackets to be up. Let's toss it up right now. So I believe with that said, NTU and SIM will be moving on into our phase 3. Yeah, that's right.
Exactly, correct.
Yep.
So phase 3, which is gonna be the grand finals. NTU, SIM, definitely in. As for Group B, we are not too sure about that just about yet, though. How is that gonna be working out?
It's a little bit awkward in my opinion because like you have these 3, I would say 3 fan favorites. You have the Republic Polytechnic, you have the RP Temasek Poly, you have ITE College Central. These 3 are very strong names in Group B. Like I actually told Escape Artists a long time ago, Group B is where your eyes should be focusing on, and that is why we can't really see a clear winner as of now. So we just have to hold on to the updates. So do stay tuned on our social media. And just follow up on any updates that we push up onto our Instagram. Don't forget to give us a follow as well. And you can also check out our Twitch channel for the past VODs at the same time.
Exactly. And well, for now, we're gonna go into a short break. Although you won't be seeing us anymore, if I am not wrong, we'll be passing it back to the host after a short break for an interview. But for now, we'll see you next week. My name's Abstract. You can take a look at my socials over there. Anything that's just such abstract, you can search me up on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, whatever it is.
Yeah, you have the social media. I only got Twitch at the same time. I don't really stream as often, but you know what? Maybe after today, I'll be start streaming a lot more longer. But you know what? Abstract, this has been very fun casting with you. You know, sitting on this couch a little bit too big for me. At least I've got someone to join me today, and as well as next week. But you know what, guys? Next week is gonna be big.
Next week is gonna be big. It is gonna be the grand finals.
That's
indeed.
right.
But not to forget, for those people that is tuning in to more about Campus Legends, Campus Legends is not all about Mobile Legends. It is also going to we're also going to be having League of Legends. Anything that's got legends in it, we're throwing that in. So League of Legends is going to be up tomorrow, and I believe that I think we have Spoods and Escape Artists to cover those games for you.
That's right. So you know what? This has been fun. We'll hope to see you next week.
Take care.
Say cheese. Guys, keep it simple. Okay.
It's easy to smile with Cheesy 7. 7 amazing cheeses plus cream cheese. Your slice of simple, 50% off.
JBL presents The Sounds of Victory. JBL Quantum Gaming Headsets, because every sound matters.
You got the best of me. You got the best of me. 넌 나의 cold heart, 넌 나의 time. 난 너만의
Say cheese. Guys, keep it simple.
Okay.
It's easy to smile with Cheesy 7. 7 amazing cheeses plus cream cheese. Your slice of simple, 50% off.
JBL presents The Sounds of Victory. JBL Quantum Gaming Headsets, because every sound matters.
You got the best of me. You got
All right, and we're back with the interview segment of this entire live stream. This is some really great games, and I'm on Discord with actually the top seed for Group A and Group B. We have Kaleo from NTU, right?
Yep.
Kaleo's from NTU, and who's the who's
Uh,
Don?
Kaya from Tamasek Panda.
Aya from Temasek Poly. Okay, congratulations on your games, guys. How was it? How do you feel?
Oh, thanks. I guess like we feel like really grateful and like excited as well to because we finally qualified, right? Like we've been
Yeah.
yeah.
What about you, Kaleo?
We're also really excited right now because we didn't really expect to be top seed.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
So are you guys playing together, like in a, or you are all separate?
Separate.
All five of us are in the same house lah. So yeah.
Oh, okay, that's cool. What about you, Kaleo? Your team?
We're all in our own bedrooms.
So it looks
Yeah.
like there's a little bit more coordination on TP's side.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, definitely.
It's easier when you can yell at them in the face.
But you still can get on call, right? You're still on call.
Yeah.
Team. Yeah, so it shouldn't make any difference. Like we all have learned over the years to play together online through like many different ways of team comms.
Yeah.
So are there any things that you guys are looking forward to in the semifinals at least? Like do you think it's going to be a challenge for you guys?
Yeah, I think it'll be a challenge to actually go against Mazarab or any other team that comes out from Group B. I feel like it will be harder in the semifinals rather than the group stages.
Okay, so
But
you're
we'll
saying that
definitely
Group
try our
B is,
best.
so the general consensus is that Group B definitely has stronger teams that you guys are excited, but at the same time, like will work hard to fight against next week.
Yeah, definitely.
How about you, Kelly? How do you feel about it?
Pretty similar. Next week's games are definitely harder, such as like fighting Masrab and fighting Tamasek Pandas.
Did you guys take part in last year's Campus Legends?
Nope, we
Nope,
didn't.
this is also our first time participating.
That's awesome. That's actually really good. So congratulations for making it this far.
All right, thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, guys.
All right, thank
That's all
you.
for the interview. Yep, thanks. Congratulations again.
Thanks. We're gonna go celebrate.
Thanks. Have a good day.
Have a good weekend. Okay, guys, so this is the end of today's MLBB Campus Legends group stages for phase 2. We will be doing the quiz next week, and there will be a National Day theme, so do prepare for that. Stay tuned for it, and yeah, hope you enjoyed today's stream, and we'll see you next week. Bye!
Say cheese. Guys, keep it simple. Okay.
It's easy to smile with Cheesy 7. 7 amazing cheeses plus cream cheese. Your slice of simple, 50% off.
JBL presents the sounds of victory. matters.
You got the best of me.